Hi, everybody, and welcome to Burnout Culture. It's our seasonal holiday episode, which I'm actually pretty excited to record. Also, the end of the year, we're rounding out with episode 20. That's kind of crazy.
It's a nice round number. Perfect
Yeah.
for people like us.
Yes.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Little Cohen. My name is Kazuma Hashimoto. Sorry, it's fucking Kazuma Hashimoto.
You forgot your own name. Impressive.
I know. Jin Kazama, that's my name now. Sorry. I'm one of three fantastic hosts.
I'm GC. I am also one of three fantastic hosts. Got that right this time.
Hi, I'm Clive from Tekken 8.
Hi, Clive from Tekken 8.
I have fat tits.
We don't talk about the other game.
No,
I'm Clive from Tekken 8.
Yeah. And true to the other game that he's in, I'm glad he only has like 8 moves or whatever.
Oh no, he has options in Tekken 8.
Wow, I can't believe they actually made him a fun and engaging character.
Here's the thing.
Tekken 8.
Like I respect the bit you were going for, but I have a lot of FGC heads like I follow who have been like combing through him, and like there have been like on Blue Sky I've been seeing like the fighting game people who maybe are not as big in action games just going like there are so many options, he has so many combos, he has so many like ways to go from combo to combo. He's insane. He has so much depth. And then all the action game people going like, wow, are you fucking kidding me?
You know what? I can't believe that.
He doesn't in his game.
Yeah, that fucking stinks. Oh my god. Yeah, you know, Final Fantasy 16 might have mechanically been a better game if it was just Tekken 8. So congratulations, Clive from Tekken 8.
Ultimately,
your varied moveset.
This is a Cullen victory because my guy will always be known as that really cool character in Tekken 8 now.
Until another guest character like usurps him or whatever. I like how every year there's like a rumor that a Yakuza character is going to be in Tekken 8. It's really funny.
I'm glad it continues to not happen.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Agenda Cast.
Yeah, where we bond over the fact that Shipburger happened. Shout out to Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth for bringing us together.
It's true. It is true.
Yeah. That was it. It was the game. I can still dislike the series, but I can't hate it for what it's done.
It has brought us together.
Yeah. I'm really glad that the best thing Infinite Wealth has done isn't whatever you were just talking about, but instead making another game afterwards that reuses Hawaii and allows me to explore it without that boring turn-based combat. Thanks, Infinite Wealth.
Is that the Majima game?
Yeah,
it's gonna be the Majima game.
Yeah, I'm excited to play that game, if only because I will get to play mindless action combat in that cool setting. Yeah, and like air juggling, and like it's like, oh cool. So like it's pretty easy to just turn your brain off and have fun with a Yakuza game despite it all when the gameplay is actually good. And it's like, hey, we did it. Look, you get to just have your dumb game. And I'm like, yeah, cool.
He also has more combos than Clive.
That is actually true. I mean, that is just observably true.
Yeah.
I mean, like a Dragon action RPG is they got combo.
They do combo.
Yeah, they do combo.
Big combo.
So what is our focus for today? What are we doing
Alcohol.
Today? Okay.
Well, my God, yeah.
Everyone, alcohol round call. What are you drinking?
Soju.
So true. GC.
What?
I'm having a gin martini, a half and half gin martini.
I am having a very decadent. I had to go drive home before the podcast and I was stuck in traffic, so I pulled up to Taco Bell and I got a Baja Blast and I drove in. I quickly ran to my alcohol cabinet and I grabbed a bunch of shit and I put it in the Baja Blast, and we'll see how this goes.
So you're having like, what is it, a hurricane or whatever it's called?
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's blue. It's got curacao, it's got vodka, and it's got
I haven't had a hurricane in a while.
I forget what the other thing is.
Yeah, you're having a hurricane.
Cool. It's a tiki drink.
Yeah, or you're having one of those drinks from Applebee's with a little shark in them.
I could fuck one of those up. No one ever wants to go to Applebee's anymore in our current society. Millennials,
I would love to go to Applebee's.
We have to go to Applebee's and support small businesses like Applebee.
Hello? Who's this?
Oh, we have a gremlin in the...
By the way, everybody, we have a guest today.
Rummaging in the cabinets.
Grande.
Oh,
you don't have to be that close to the mic, though.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
No, you can do whatever. Jake, no, do whatever.
I'm the drawer, guys. What's up?
The drawer.
Jake, don't listen to Kaz. Be as close to the mic as you want to be.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty different episode in which, GC, do you want to explain what we'll be doing this episode?
Yes. So seeing as it's the end of the year, and usually at the end of the year, people in the gaming space love to post their games of the year, or do a little awards thing on their own. We're going to do something very similar to that. What Cullen and I have done is amassed a list of 5 games, not necessarily from this year, just 5 games that we've played. It doesn't have to be from this year. It doesn't have to have released this year. But we have to have played it this year, and we are going to essentially give you our top 5 games of the year. Mm-hmm. Kazuma, however, he's going to do something a little bit different. He's going to give us his bottom 5 of the year.
Because I'm a hater.
Because he's a hater. And Jake, if he so chooses, will give us either a top or bottom 5. I don't remember which one we decided.
Was anything.
I'm mainly top.
Anything.
Oh my god.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Sigma Male has entered the chat.
Damn.
Oh hell yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be listing off stuff, media basically of stuff that we do.
I think it would be only fair, given the spectrum of personalities we have here. We start with the hater, we start with the middler, and then we start with the stupid little boy.
Okay.
So
you want me to go first?
Yeah. And then we go one by one. I know for my personal list, I have done my best to give certain attributes and like titles to each of my top 5.
Okay.
So, there's like, oh, my number 5 best this of the year. And then I'll like, and I go through them like that. So
yeah. I have given all of the games fake awards that I will award them.
That sounds exciting. I see Kazuma opening his black little book of hatred with his notes in it.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Okay.
You open the book and it's like
Yoshi P, 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 Yoshi P. It didn't work.
Is that a death note?
Maybe. So I'm gonna start with my bottom 5 games, and they're gonna be in no particular order. So just know that I don't discriminate, and I dislike everything equally.
Oh, high school energy. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, so first on the list is Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, which I thought was a very middling to nothing expansion that basically encapsulated the cultures it was trying to represent by let's all eat tacos. Tacos are delicious. And had like a really boring, stupid, like
looks down at my meal. Continue.
No, it had probably one of the least interesting antagonists with like Queen Sphene, and the fucking most lukewarm. I can't find the word for right now. The most lukewarm discussion on what does it mean to die, and like something of us left behind in a cloud, like the Microsoft OneDrive cloud. It tries to be Soma but bad.
Keep in mind that the Microsoft One Cloud only gives you 1 terabyte of save if you actually pay $3.99 monthly. So I'm not sure how that goes into the equation here.
Well, it's like Soma, right? You remember Soma?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like that. So basically, I don't know. It's just super lukewarm. It's not an interesting discussion on anything it tries to present, especially in terms of like its contest for the throne and who was going to represent the country. And Wook is a really fucking annoying character. And before anybody says, oh, it's because of the voice acting in English, well, you know what? You're fucking right, because I switched to Japanese and I still fucking hated that character. But it made it. Yeah.
I did want to chime in though, because the voice actor has gotten a lot of like harassment and hate. Nothing against the English voice actor for Wook Lamont. That actually became like a really big problem.
Yeah, and they were like criticizing her for the wrong reasons, because in the end it really does like lean into the fact that it's more voice direction than anything else. But I think she also made some really stupid comments on Twitter in face of the harassment, where she was like being like, oh, I can't, I'm not going to talk about it because it doesn't fucking matter. I just can't believe she said some of the stuff she did. It was just like, please God, these are not the same things. You don't need to talk about this right now. But yeah, basically it got me to play World of Warcraft though, which I think says a lot in terms of MMOs, because I was very much like, I'm never going to play World of Warcraft. And then I immediately got into World of Warcraft, and we literally just stopped playing World of Warcraft right now to record the podcast. So shout out to Dawn Trail for being a fucking middling to nothing expansion, but also for getting me into World of Warcraft.
That's
well,
because we're not gonna do like all of them at once.
We'll share each other's like fives, and then we'll do fours and threes and twos and ones.
Now here's the thing, Kazuma. I have a curveball.
Yeah.
And you will pick the pill you wish to take, red or blue, in the Matrix way, not the political co-opted way. But I have a challenge for you. I would like you, after all of your entries, to either pick out one game you genuinely thought was at least okay or enjoyed, or one thing about that game that you genuinely did like.
So I really like World of Warcraft. That's my counter to that. World of Warcraft is genuinely really good. I had no idea how important it was to the genre itself in terms of the DNA that sort of has infected other MMOs like Ion. I played Ion. I had no idea the combo system came from World of Warcraft. I had no idea that so much of Final Fantasy XIV is basically just a worse version of World of Warcraft. So, that's it. Thank you again, Dawn Trail, for the gift of having me play World of Warcraft, where I actually wouldn't be having fun playing MMOs this year. So
awesome.
Who's the middler?
That was a shockingly positive spin on a bottom five.
See?
Well, I'm trying not to be as like super hateful, but I will say this. I think how little I like that game. There's the Testament. Sorry, I can't fucking speak right now. Let me have a sip of coffee. Sorry, GC, you gotta edit this shit out.
GC, keep it in.
No. There's a testament to how little I gave a shit about this game, in the way that I cannot fucking remember 90% of that storyline. Like I cared so little about Dawn Trail that I can't remember shit, and there's actually so little for me to critique other than the very narrow scope in which the Japanese developers have chosen to portray Latin American cultures, and even to some extent Southeast Asian cultures. And it's just not a very interesting expansion or a very good game, other than the fact that there was a really ugly baby in it that I liked.
Yeah, that was cute. But yeah, like as someone who also played a lot of XIV, you also got to keep in mind the history of this game, right? Like every single expansion, they get criticized for how they portray other cultures. And every single expansion, they do the same thing. So like, I'm getting kind of tired.
Yeah.
And like, if a game expansion or like of a MMO that you played religiously in 2024 releases and gets you into WoW, I think you really got to re-examine like what you're doing with XIV, because that's probably the exact opposite of what Yoshi P wants.
Yeah, even though he's like, you don't have to play this game all the time. And then Square Enix is like, we're losing money, play the game all the time.
Yeah, but please play the game all the time.
Or just that he's released several contradictory statements where he's like, we're going to be making content harder and you're going to have to engage with the game more now. In which it's like, that's not the audience you've cultivated for your MMO. You literally tell people you don't gotta be logged in, and now you're like, we need engagement now, please. But Yoshi P says a lot of things, and that's kind of that. So who's the middler in this? Is it UGC? Are you the middler?
I just have a list of awards that this does not imply that the game is good or bad. Yeah. I'll be the middler. Sure. I think ostensibly I am the middler. I would like to give my first award.
Sticking out your yacht for the middler.
Number 5.
I would like to give my first award. This is the Saddest Writer's Room Award.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I like it.
This is the award I give out to the game I play in that year that not necessarily has the worst narrative that I've played this year or that I've experienced this year, but more so gives me a sense that the people who wrote it were either tired, uninspired, sad, or that they missed a great opportunity. And that award goes to Gundam Breaker 4.
Oh.
Gundam Breaker 4 is a fantastic game. It is not quite like Monster Hunter, but it has that Monster Hunter vibe. You take missions with your friends. You can equip different kinds of weapons. You can do like a whole loadout on a character, which is just building a gunpla, and you can fight lots of enemies. We've talked about it on the podcast before. Spoilers, everybody. This podcast episode will essentially be a recap of all the discussions we've had this year, more or less. Gundam Breaker 4 is a great game. It is a damn shame that its story is so cliche, trite, boring, lame, cringe, etc. The story of Gundam Breaker 4 is that everyone who plays this game is a fucking nerd who puts way too much, like, what do you call it when somebody puts way too much, like cares way too, when they care way too much about the game they're playing?
Bitchless?
Huh?
Bitchless?
Rizzless, thank you.
Not what I said, but yeah, basically the same thing.
So like
the Rizzler.
It's your bog standard.
Bitchless.
But you're yacht away. I'm the Rizzless.
It is your bog standard story with no pizzazz. It is literally, there are people playing this MMO together and they have like these moments of like, I'm not gonna lose this round because we are friends and our powers are mighty. And it's like, if I ever heard someone say this to me while we were playing, like if we were playing Marvel Rivals and Cullen was like, GC, we gotta muster up our power and push the point because we can't let these people lose, because if we lose, it'll remind me that I get bullied in high school. It's like
our friendship's at line here.
Yeah, it is the equivalent of like every video you've ever seen of like a socially awkward person trying to like do anime stuff in real life. It sucks. Also, and it's a shame because there are little glimpses of like, there's little glimpses of that in that game where like you can see that they were like, they almost had a really cool thing of like, oh, people use video games to escape their real world problems, but they end up meeting people and form bonds that help them deal with real world problems. They could have done that. They don't. And
hey, GC,
yeah, that's why it earns
you want me to ruin that for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you like me to give you the biggest Gundam Breaker 4 spoiler that I'm pretty sure you have gone unspoiled about?
Sure.
Do you know what that game is actually about?
Is it about AI?
Yes.
Is it about that AI is a good thing, actually?
Yes.
I love how GC can just call it.
Yeah, because I'm not, okay, I have a superpower.
He has a brain. He's intelligent.
You need to understand, I have a superpower. Like people talk about turning their brain off when they play video games. I can't do that. But I kind of have to like dumb myself down, because if I sit there going, oh, that's an interesting writing choice. Oh, they're doing this for this reason and this reason. I will figure out where a story is going before it gets there, and I will ruin the story for myself. Like it will just happen. So I can't do that. I can't participate too actively, or else I am not surprised by anything. And not that I need to be, but sometimes I want to be. And yeah.
Oh, little boy full of whimsy.
Yeah. That's why I really like simple stories, because simple stories are so simple that there's nothing to deduce. You just don't know what's going to happen next, but like it still has like a nice constructed story about a certain emotional theme or something. It's nice. It's good. Anyway.
Yeah, speaking of that,
go for it.
I've been, before I get into my thing, since the last time we recorded this, I have watched about 100 episodes of Dragon Ball.
Nice.
Dragon Ball's pretty fucking good.
It's great.
I want like Oolong to eat a shotgun, and then like the parts of the like bullet that go through Oolong to hit Master Roshi. But besides that, I love Dragon Ball.
My favorite part of Oolong is that like you feel that way, but that's how you're supposed to feel that. You're supposed to feel that way about Oolong. Like he sucks.
Yeah, that's the one thing where Toriyama's like, yeah, doesn't this guy suck? And I'm like, yeah, he does.
Don't you want to see bad things happen to this guy? Don't you want to see him suffer? Here you go.
I also love that in 2024, someone can still say, wow, Dragon Ball is really good. Like you can still experience stuff like this. That means so much.
Yeah. I have never seen Dragon Ball before, and I have sat here and I have put myself to the task of watching all of Dragon Ball, and it's pretty good.
I hope you like the King Piccolo arc.
I am in it right now. After we're done with this podcast, I'm going to go watch more Piccolo. Yajirobe showed up, and his whole thing is, I'm going to eat the bad guy. And I'm like, eat him. Good.
Hey, kid, you're interrupting my breakfast. My breakfast.
God. GC, let's watch Dragon Ball after this.
It's yes, absolutely. I fucking love Dragon Ball. I used to get home from school, and Dragon Ball used to be what was on Toonami, and I would watch. I've seen more Dragon Ball than I have of Dragon Ball Z, pretty much. And like, I love Dragon Ball. I know you don't like the Red Ribbon arc, the Red Ribbon Army arc, but I really liked it when I was a kid because I like the Frankenstein guy.
Now that is a highlight for sure. And here's the thing. I like, also, I'm definitely padding this out, so don't worry. This is intentional. I think it is the worst arc of the entire run.
Yes, it's full of fun.
But it has its moments that are good. And I think a lot of that does come down to just like Goku becoming his own person.
Yes.
Like
he's doing things by himself.
And like that, admittedly, while I like that, and that is important to show him on his own, it is the weakest stuff in Dragon Ball because Goku is at his best when he's bouncing off of other characters.
Yeah,
and they're going,
because it makes
what?
him look weird by comparison, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, like it's like, dude, you are a weirdo.
And like when there's like 3 episodes with this like samurai guy who's horny, I go, I need you to die.
There's also that one episode where Goku's in the maze and they keep cutting back to him running in the maze, and you're like, can we just please leave this fucking maze?
And then you have that like entire arc with like the general who is
it the blonde guy that like shoots the guy for picking
gay
his
stereotype?
Nose?
Wait, is so the Red Ribbon arc is the one with all the androids, right?
Yes.
No,
well, one of them, one android.
So like if you're thinking the androids in Z, that's kind of just building off of, like, it kind of adds a retcon in there. That's like, yeah, there was this doctor and he worked for Red Ribbon and he's mad at Goku because he blew up their base.
Also, the Red Ribbon Army, that's just the Nazis.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's nice. It's nice that like Toriyama did an entire arc where Goku single-handedly dismantles an entire Nazi army. It's great.
Oh yeah. He destroys the Nazis by himself. And like the group goes, it's like, Goku can't do that. We got to go save Goku. And they all get there after it's already like happened. And they're like, Goku, you didn't do that. And he's like, no, I did it for real.
I did it by myself.
And then Yamcha's like,
the hero of
my stupid dipshit cat thing. Go check. And like, it literally like, you just get like a minute of this thing going to like check. It's like, yeah, Poir. And then Poir's like, he did it. He killed the Nazis, boss. It's like, wow, I'm proud of Goku.
Good job, Goku.
Good job, Goku.
It's also like, not to derail this anymore, but like, it is really cool that Dragon Ball exists as a concept in general because, like, usually a lot of shonen anime does time skips, but very few of them do a time skip to the extent of you are going to watch this kid grow up into a man. He is going to have children, and then his children are going to have children. And it is like it is a generational story. And like, unfortunately, it does focus around Goku. I actually think that the story should have moved on to Gohan, but as it is with every long running piece of media, whenever you do that, you will inevitably have to gravitate back to the popular main character. But
unfortunately, Goku is just too cool.
Yeah, but it is cool that like Dragon Ball, like even now, even by today, like compared to other anime now, Dragon Ball Z, like, and I guess to an extent Dragon Ball Super as well, like it is very unique in that they did not shy away from being like, yes, your character, these people are going to get older. You are going to, like, can you imagine being a kid watching Dragon Ball when it came out? You grew up with that guy.
Yeah. You were great. I wish I could have been that and not like 28 watching Dragon Ball and being like, this would have gone crazy as a kid.
Yeah. It was awesome. It's awesome. I love it. Anyway.
I'm padding these out with little discussions because if we just do our list, the episode's gonna be over like that.
Also, the power pull is a great great thing. I love it when Goku uses power pull.
I like it when he does that and then combos it with a Kamehameha.
Mm-hmm. It's a great reimagining of Journey to the West.
Although having said that, I cannot wait for it to stop being a great imagining to Journey to the West and for Vegeta to show up because I like Vegeta.
Yeah.
I'm watching this and I'm like, all right, come on. Wrap it up. I want to see Jeets.
You got to get to Z.
I know. I'm so close. I could taste it.
You're going to learn about Kaioken and Kaioken's infinite power. Before they introduced Super Saiyan as a concept, Goku had a power called Kaioken. And it's just I believe it translates to like something of the Kais or something where it's literally like theoretically it is infinite magnification of power, but Goku only reaches a certain amount of it before he learns how to go Super Saiyan, and then the series forgets that he can do Kaioken.
Damn.
Yeah.
Last thing to say about Dragon Ball is like, wow, Yamcha and Tien are fucking each other. Anyway.
Excuse me, what?
So, on my list,
Tien and Yamcha are like, it's very
inside each other.
Their relationship is very
gay,
like
Kazuma.
they really like each other. They think they
have sex with each other, Kazuma. There's a whole episode dedicated to that.
Damn, maybe I should watch Dragon Ball again.
Yeah, you should. Watch the Tien arc where they're just like fucking for 5 episodes straight. What?
That's how Tien gets his third eye to open.
Yeah. Well, his fourth eye, his penis.
Sex with a man.
Yeah.
His third eye is the gay eye.
What? I have to unlock my 7th chakra.
There's so many scenes where they're just like thinking about each other in that shonen way where it's like, Yamcha's here. Good.
That fucking screen cap you took of like Tien and Yamcha looking at each other, both going, "Excuse me," and they're blushing. Is so
I haven't even
funny.
gotten to that yet, and I cannot wait. Shibuya found that. I'm so fucking stoked. Those boys are gay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Gay people,
so
am I right?
Number 5 of my list, and I am giving this to the best adventure game. Like puzzle adventure kind of thing. Now, a lot of options, a lot of really, challenging things to kind of work through here about what I wanted this to be. But you know what? After a lot of deliberation, I am giving this to Emio the Smiling Man. Thank you, Nintendo. You may take your you will take your award. We'll ship it to you.
I love the Marshmallow game.
What?
Oh yeah, because he looks like Marshmallow.
He looks like Marshmallow.
Ooh.
The DJ.
It's a
DJ Marshmallow.
So Jake is looking at it right now. It's sort of like a horror suspense crime VN.
Here, Cullen. This is Marshmallow.
Oh yeah, it's the latest and probably last entry in the Famicom Detective Club series that builds off of what they established in those 2 remakes they put out a couple years ago. It is utterly fantastic. It's got really fun characters. It's got a really fucked up and like engaging mystery that touches on some themes that I don't even want to get into because it's so raw in what it's doing. And I loved it. I gave it a 10 out of 10 and it's just fantastic. It's one of those things you just got to go play. And there's a demo out that is the first couple of days. So it's worth checking out.
I think you should reframe your awards as top 5 video games Cullen doesn't want Kazuma to play.
Yes, you are correct. All of the titles I have picked out today are things I do not want you to play. This is true.
Yeah, because I'll just be like, I hate Code Geass.
Yeah, you'll rip them all apart.
Anyway, so we're going to go on to a question next.
Yes.
No Code Geass in my fancy Game of the Year special Christmas talk. You know, like people are going to be listening to this on Christmas Eve. They're going to be with their family members that they do not like. They're going to be hearing the fire crackle and crickle about, and they're going to be listening to our podcasts at midnight.
Yes.
Waiting for Santa to come and skeet and blast.
Disgusting.
What the fuck, Cullen?
Stop, Cullen.
And, shake it.
What?
That's not your word.
Hold on. It was a different word. I didn't mean... I muted myself on accident.
And fucking
and then with some butter syrup. Anyway.
Okay, anyways.
Wait, I need
please,
to Google that.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Butter syrup.
What's the question? What's the question?
Yeah, go to the question.
All right. So we are taking some questions from our wonderful, wonderful Discord people live as we record this. And our first one is from Bram Cracker. Burnout Papas. How do I deal with my favorite multiplayer game of the year being shut down 2 weeks after release and ruthlessly mocked by basically everyone while I sat there kind of confused why I seem to be the only person it appealed to?
It's Concord, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not doing a bit. I actually really like Concord. It's not a big deal when a game is single player and doesn't rely on other people to exist, but in the age of live service, something you love can be taken away from you if not enough people resonate with it.
You have to understand and deal with the fact that impermanence is a thing that exists in life, not just in video games, but the life of everything around you.
One day you're gonna die.
If I can be a little bit Buddhist.
Sorry, I had an existential crisis yesterday while we were in the sauna and it changed me.
I need more alcohol for this.
I love a good sauna sesh. Oh my god. Okay, anyway.
I think the thing is, like, in the age of live service, you have to understand, like, you might really like something, but it could literally shut down at any time. Like, I'm really liking Marvel Rivals, but I'm actually quite worried about how long it's going to last because of NetEase and, well, mostly Marvel Disney's, like, track record of shutting things down if it doesn't make a quadrillion dollars immediately. And while I'm having loads of fun, my expectations are this game is going to close in 2 years if they don't keep making a fuck ton of money with skin sales. And it stinks and it sucks, but that's the way it is. And you know what, champ? Sometimes you just gotta accept that in the end, everything
it didn't
will
even
die.
matter.
Yeah.
I also have a suggestion. I mean, you could always go back to traditional games. Like, a good board game is a good multiplayer game, and, it can't really be taken away from you.
You know what also can't be taken away from you?
What?
Halo Slayer with the boys. You hop on Halo. You play your matches. You do some campaign. You go to the Halo 2. You play some matches. Campaign. Halo 3. Halo Reach. And then you stop.
So,
Halo Infinite.
My answer to this question, as far as like, how do you deal with you seemingly being the only person who feeling like being the only person that a game is appealing to while other people ruthlessly mock it. Like Kazuma said, material wealth is fleeting and deteriorates the minute it is created. Before you even buy it, it is deteriorating and disintegrating right before your eyes. You basically need to free yourself from the idea that one of those things will not come around again. So nothing is permanent, but because nothing is permanent, things tend to happen over and over again. Another Concord will pass. You will get Concord again. It may not be in the exact way that you remember Concord or that you think about Concord, but you will get something that hits that part of your brain that Concord did. And because of that, in the age of live service where something you love can be taken away from you and not enough people resonate with it, you either realize that material things are not as important as perhaps the people around you, or you accept that material things can indeed be replaced by other material things.
Yeah, or just accept that everything is impermanent and one day we will all be dead in the ground with the worms eating our corpses.
Yeah, no one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you're broke, and Concord's DOA.
Also, if it's a more
Sorry,
about, like,
I had to clap.
It's good. It's pretty good, honestly. That was pretty impressive.
That was pretty fire.
Oh no, this is fucked up, Cullen. You only get this once a year, listeners.
So like in the case of like you play a live service game and it's like it's not going to last forever, but you really like it, just like, like enjoy it while it lasts. And then when it's over, realize that nothing you could have done would have saved it. And it's like it's too heavy. Never mind. It's too heavy for a Christmas podcast. Just enjoy things while they last, buddy. Like you'll be fine. Like
yeah, you'll find something new to like that will also have some kind of impermanence. It's like Jake's been playing. Well, we've both been playing that Wizardry mobile game, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna shut down in like a year because I actually haven't rotated the limited character banners, which is a very bad sign for a gacha game. And it just launched, and I'm already preparing for the shutdown because that's the way it is. TM.
Also, you need to be aware of any live service game, no matter what, because these are run by money-hungry corporations who have no problem firing like a bunch of people and like letting them.
That's a great point.
Like making them take all the blame for the like result of this instead of just the money people of Sony.
That's being the
ones at fault for that.
Concord could have been a game that like got worse.
It could have bounced back
or gotten better. Got better. My God,
like,
GC.
Jesus, GC.
It could have gotten worse. No, but like that's what I'm saying.
GC's like they deserve to lose their jobs.
Like you liked Concord. No. That's not what I mean. I mean you liked Concord in the moment, right? And obviously nobody wants devs to like make some. Nobody wants somebody to make something bad, right? Like ideally, it's like everybody makes good things, but that's not the reality, right? But like in the case of like live service, like I used to be a very avid Destiny 2 player. And eventually,
yeah, that game stinks now. I worked PR on that, and like I can't say what they were planning because I still think some of that stuff is under NDA. But I'm sorry about the deterioration of the game you enjoyed.
Yeah, but like, do I regret playing Destiny 2? No, I played it until I wasn't having fun anymore, and then I was like, well, that was good. How many hours do I have in Destiny 2? I have. 2. Don't worry, it's not gonna take this long. I have 200 hours in Destiny 2. 200 hours is a lot of time. Like if I stopped enjoying Destiny 2 after 200 hours, that's the equivalent of I've been to the county fair 100 times and no longer find it fun. Yeah, because you've been there 100 times. Like that makes sense, like it ran its course. Unfortunately, you will not experience that with Concord because it was shot out back old Yeller style, but
old Oolong style.
And I think that's a waste with Concord because they could have turned it around, I think.
Yeah. I honestly agree with you. Yeah, but like, also you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there, especially on Twitter, Blue Sky, that I've seen a lot of people being like, hey, like, man, it sucks that we didn't actually get to play Concord. Because a lot of people now in the post like Humus phase of that are like, man, I really wish I could have, like, I know people said it was kind of like ass, but like, I wish I could have played it for myself and like found out because maybe I would have liked it. So like, you're not alone in feeling that way. And also, at the end of the day, it's just games, find something else to play. Something else will come along. You'll forget about it. Those people that made that game, hopefully in the long run will be fine.
Game they all got fired.
I know, but like they'll find something else.
I actually got murdered.
Maybe they'll find something else. Maybe they'll find something better, hopefully. But
they all got the death penalty.
Don't worry too much about it.
You didn't play Concord.
But yeah, are we moving on to the things I hate?
Yes, I do have to use the bathroom. Go ahead and talk. I will be back in literally less than 2 minutes.
I actually need to cut my fingernails. I'll be right back.
What about my top 5?
Oh my God, Jake, I'm so sorry. We forgot about you.
I'll listen to your top 5,
no,
Jake. Don't worry. No, go piss, boy.
Okay, you talk about your number 5, Jake. I will be back before you're done.
Okay. So keep in mind that I'm just making these up as I go. So I will call these like top 5 games that remained in my memory, which is a pretty high award because I'm extremely forgetful.
Yeah.
Number 5. I actually downloaded an app game for the minions. The little minions that everyone loves.
Describe it.
It's basically like Temple Run, except it's better.
Do you see their like fat ass butt cheeks like sway in the wind as you run?
Yes, you can have that outfit too. So you can have every single minion outfit imaginable for your little guy. And they all have different abilities. And all the run maps are like based on places from the movies. It's amazing. And the detail that's in this game is crazy. Unfortunately, it's super monetized, but I've played it for quite a bit and I got a lot of joy out of it. So, yeah, if anyone wants to have a good time, download the Minions app. It's really fun. And add me.
Do you actually want them to add you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually add him.
What's your account then?
Snart Fartman. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Cool, yeah. So Jake likes the Minions game, and I fucking think The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered was a fucking waste of a video game this year.
Go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hater energy sink.
Yeah.
Neil Cuckman. Oh, another 30 quadrillion to Israel. Whoa,
100%.
please be excited for his next shitty video game. Oh, pew 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 pew.
No, I understand why that game got re-released, and that's because of the success of like The Last of Us on HBO.
Yes.
But again, extremely cynical, nihilist game full of like Zionist propaganda. Neil Druckmann sucks. Again, this is just me disliking Neil Druckmann. If you work under Neil Druckmann and you're not a Zionist, like
Sorry.
I'm like you're fine. You're okay, you know? Because there are actually Naughty Dog employees.
You got to make money somehow. You got to afford to live in California.
Oh my God, yeah. And like the thing is, like Naughty Dog employees follow me now, and I'm like, please God, don't hate me for this opinion. But yeah, I again, like it didn't need to release. It was just there to make money. I don't know what else to say other than that, and it's just all of his stuff is deeply cynical. Like, I'm gonna read this shit post to you because this is basically The Last of Us. Hang on. And like my thing went viral when I quote retweeted as my Resident Evil thing, but every deep zombie game, maybe we're the real monsters. Resident Evil, the real monsters are corporations, you idiots. And that's kind of like the summary of like I think The Last of Us and a lot of zombie media that's come out within the past like 10 years where they're like, actually humans are the greatest evil on the planet. And it's like, you know, billionaires, maybe a select few, and the government just in general.
Yeah. Like human beings, bad guys. You know what? I don't necessarily agree with that, but like which ones?
Yeah, exactly.
like because they can't all be bad because then the story would end pretty quick. They all died.
You know, just like The Last of Us, where everyone's a miserable piece of shit and no one likes each other.
Like, I'm sorry, but even in the zombie apocalypse, we have to become class conscious.
Exactly. The first people that need to be eaten are billionaires. And then after that, I think we're
Neil
good.
Druckmann.
I love that. I love what you said at the start, where it's basically that The Last of Us is just generic zombie story with Zionism thrown in.
Yeah. Literally, that's all it is.
Like it's so brain dead. Like it's not actually like that thoughtful.
No, it's not. It's what is it? Oh yeah, the cycle of violence. Go play Red Dead Redemption 2, you dipshit. Like sorry.
Red Dead Redemption. As far as cycle of violence goes, Red Dead Redemption is a great example of that.
Oh yes.
I'm so bummed at like Last of Us 2 being that way, because like to bounce off of what you said earlier about the people working under him, I think as a video game, like the game you play, not the story you watch for countless hours.
It's technically impressive. It's very technically impressive.
I really liked playing The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing is, if
survival bits were so good, but then the writing happens and it's fucking doo-doo ass.
Yeah, but if we're like just talking about games being technically impressive, then Final Fantasy 16 would have been my fucking game of the year last year. But it's just dog. Sorry, Cullen. I keep talking shit on the game, but you know that I love Clive from Tekken 8 at least.
Excuse me, his name is Torgal.
Sorry. But yeah, like if we just judge the game based on, you know, like its technicalities, then yeah, this game would be really good. Unfortunately, it's bogged down in everything else. And my praise for this game or whatever is go play Red Dead Redemption 2 instead. Also very technically impressive. The snow deformation in that game is kind of crazy. It still holds up. And Arthur is probably one of the best like video game protagonists ever. And Red Dead as a narrative itself is actually pretty on par with a lot of Westerns. You know, I would read this if this was like a book or in any other medium. And I love that Rockstar is like, we don't need to make movies or TV shows because we're not interested. And we make so much money from GTA. Why the fuck would we invest in that shit? So that's
Rockstar. Rockstar, low key, not talked about often because their main general audience doesn't give a fuck about the narratives of their stories. But like Rockstar knows how to write a fucking video game.
They sure do.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't like GTA myself because I feel like
it's a little too cynical for me.
Yeah, it's cynical, and I think it being like a social satire or whatever doesn't always come across very well.
And as is the issue with satire in our modern age.
Yes, yeah. So it engages in some things that I don't particularly enjoy.
Yes. Satire writers love saying slurs.
They sure do.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways,
very
Borderlands. Sorry. So the Middler. What's going on next?
No.
What?
Remember what I said earlier? I wish I had known you were gonna mention Last of Us 2 before I said that you also have to say something nice about it.
No, I didn't say anything nice about it. I had to say something nice about either another game.
Oh, okay.
Or
but he did say something nice about it.
About the people working under it.
That it was very technically impressive.
Yeah, technically impressive. Yeah,
damn.
But absolute dog shit overall. Not even worth playing, in my opinion.
I'll tell you straight up, like to the people that made that game, when I saw the announcement trailer for that, when Sony did that really weird way of like announcing their games that year, where they like herded audience members from a building to another building to another building. When they revealed Last of Us 2, what happened?
No, I was gonna say like the hype. I'm the hype man. I'm like that rope tech that goes crazy.
The fucking kiss in that trailer, like the motion cap for that, and like whoever had to work on like animating that was impressive as fuck.
I'm gonna be honest. They already did that in Assassin's Creed Unity in like 2014.
That's fair. But like I was definitely like, damn, like that looked good. Like on it, like the game looks fucking good. I guess it goes without saying, but I'll say it. If you are a person in the entertainment industry and you want to be an artist in the entertainment industry and you want to work in entertainment, the reality is that sometimes you have to work for shitty people. And, you know, we don't hold it against you. That is the nature of the business. That is the nature of the business. You could not change that on your own. And that's why like strikes and unions happen. And, you know, we support you anyway.
Yep. We also need to kill the idea of the video game auteur.
Yes.
I just want to talk about this really briefly because, and this fucking goes into Neil Druckmann and Arcane. So the co-creator of Arcane is like basically trying to like do the Hajime Tabata of like, actually this is canon and this is real. And when you have video game people basically having input or creating television, they treat it as though this is their sole production and other people aren't involved. And it's such a specific mentality for game dev. And I really don't see this in like TV or movies all that much.
No.
And we need to kill the idea of the auteur.
We need to remember, in a collaborative space, like when you look at movies, directors direct actors, actors create the magic of those characters. And good directors know when an actor is bringing something to the table that is like, no, we're going to keep that. That's great. That's awesome. We're going to keep that. And writers will write an idea and watch actors throw that idea out to do something else. And a writer will go, that was great. We're going to, yeah, dude. Yeah. That's what we're going to take. Like, that's way better than what I came up with. Like, in video games, we need to get rid of the auteur theory because when you subscribe to the auteur theory, it gives too much power to those people, and A, it gives too much power to those people, and B, we start blaming the wrong people for the things we don't like and the things that we consume.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also think killing auteur theory would literally stop directors from having absolute fucking control over their product.
Yes.
When people praise them out their fucking asshole and they get a huge ego. Kill ego, kill the auteur theory. Middler, go.
Kill them all.
Pulling out his list. It's the Middler.
Hi, everybody. It's me, the Middler. Number 4, Burger King foot lettuce. Sorry, I had to say it. I have never actually seen that video. I've just known that a lot of people like quote it around me.
You're old, dude.
Yeah, I know. So my next award. Let's see, which one do I... This is in no order, by the... Well, it is in somewhat of an order. Yeah, it'll be in somewhat of an order. This is the worst boss fight award, or alternatively, why did they make it like this award?
I thought we were picking positive things.
This is a positive thing. All of these... By the way, all of these games I enjoyed. All of these games I enjoyed. I want to make that clear. I liked all of these games, but you're going to get an award of the thing that I remember the most about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So the worst boss fight award this year goes to Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Yippee!
Now Shadow of the Erd Tree, quite liked it. I think it's actually a pretty good DLC. Not a lot of complaints. I am fucking cracked at Souls-like games. Kazuma is a witness to my skills. And
Me too. I saw it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You were there too. Like I did things in one try that it took other people to do many tries, and that was before they patched the game to make it easier.
You did things I didn't even know were possible.
So the problem is that when your game is essentially, or your DLC in this case is, and I know I'm being a little bit hypocritical considering I complained that Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree got nominated as a DLC at the Game Awards, but this is like different because I'm not Jeff Keighley. Anyway, so like Shadow of the Erd Tree, really cool game, but when your DLC is essentially a string of boss fights, and that's basically what it is. Those games are basically strings of boss fights, spaced out by exploration and stuff. But like the highlight is obviously the boss fights. You play a Souls game, and the thing you remember the most are the boss fights. So naturally, this award is going to go to Elden Ring because as much fun as I had with Shadow of the Erd Tree, and I talked about this, I don't think I talked about this on the podcast, but Shadow of the Erd Tree has what I call the modern From Software problem. And I mean really modern, maybe like contemporary is a better word, or like immediate From Software problem that I think they need to address in future games. And it's, you guys are really good at designing boss fights. There's no question about it. You're really good. Like you make good games. When I talk shit about a Souls-like game from Software, like if I talk shit about Dark Souls 2, I am talking about the different, and I compare it to like 1 or 3. And I like 3. I'm sorry, anybody that bothers. Like when I talk shit about Dark Souls 2, I am like literally comparing like an 8.5 to like a 9.3. Like it is so.
And the 9.3 is Dark Souls 2.
And the 9. No.
Yeah, you.
When I talk about Dark Souls 2 is the 8.5 compared to like Dark Souls 1, which I believe is like a 9.3.
6.
So like I know a lot of people like Dark Souls 2. I also Dark Souls 2 is my most played Dark Souls game. Wrap that around your head.
I'm sorry.
It's my least, it's the one I think is the worst, but it's the one that I've played the most. The problem with modern From Software games, and this is exasperated in Elden Ring's DLC and in Elden Ring in general, is that they have gotten to a point where people have sort of associated them with creating difficulty, despite the fact that a lot of the fans of the series are like, it's not difficult, it's not hard, it's not about that, which I kind of like agree and disagree with on very many avenues that I won't get into here. Shadow of the Erd Tree has this problem where From Software seems to have developed this idea that they need to top their boss fights every single time. And instead of designing a different boss fight, they design the same boss fight, but they change the timings on when you're supposed to dodge in that boss fight.
You are so right.
And that to me is not interesting. Because
GC's like, I want to bottom your boss fights. I don't want to top them anymore.
I do not want to fight a boss that is identical to another boss I fought in another Souls-like game, except the dodge point for when I'm supposed to dodge his attacks is 20 frames later than what it used to be in a different Souls-like game. That is not interesting to me. That is just fucking with my muscle memory. And I understand that like challenging a player's muscle memory is actually like a part of game design. But to me, it is not very interesting. I would rather fight a boss you've never done before, where it's like, this boss has actually new movesets. This boss actually has like new concepts. Like we've gone back to the drawing board. We've looked like at our old games and like we've decided that like we wanted to make something that we hadn't done before. If I have to fight another fucking copy, like Artorias, right? Artorias and I think Orphan of Kaz have a lot of things in common. I don't remember if Elden Ring has a boss that's like that, but like that's sort of like what I'm talking about, where it's like I don't want to fight. I don't want to go, oh, this is just this boss with like extra moves. I want to fight a fresh boss from Software. And that's why Elden Ring gets Worst Boss Fight Award. A lot of the bosses in that game, like some of those bosses have like a front charge. There's like a mounted boss that does that. And it's like the dodge timing on it is bullshit. And a lot of people are like, oh, just put on a shield, a great shield, and it'll like, whatever. That's not what my build is. Oh, just grind out your build. Fuck you. I'm not going to grind out souls or runes to change my fucking stats. That's going to take fucking forever. That's boring. That sucks. That's not a solution, etc., etc., etc. Blah, blah, blah. The final boss of Elden Ring's DLC was really tough. Having a body splash explosion that is not telegraphed at all is bullshit, etc., etc., etc. Sekiro is their best game, etc., etc., etc. I'm done.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
So, Mr. Positive, little baby boy.
Hi.
Oh, sorry. Different positive. Sorry. My bad. That's not my name anymore.
It's me, good Cullen Positive. Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing tonight?
Do you think it's weird that your last name, which I won't say out loud, implies negativity?
That one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. That's funny.
And ironically, like my old like handle implied positivity, but we're kind of like on opposite ends of that spectrum.
You know what? My mom always did say I was on the spectrum.
Okay.
All right.
Continue.
All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our show. It's really nice to see you all out on in the audience. My next award, it's, I'm just taking a little generic, but best action game. A lot of action games this year, and many of you might think that most of them are mid, but there's one in particular that had the most exhilarating action I've seen in a game all year, and that is Emio the Smiling Man. That's right,
Again?
Emio, come on down. Emio, I'm so like it's you consistently blew me away with how exhilarating every scene in that game is. Everyone applaud for Emio.
You like the Smiling Man so much. Why don't you marry him, Cullen?
Emio, you're so cool.
Marshmallow's winning a lot of awards this year.
Yeah.
Woo! Emio, me and you, buddy.
Me and you, buddy. We're gonna take this.
Top.
We're gonna take this to the top.
Wow. Well, that person was clearly drunk off his mind. Now to get to the question.
Wait. Let's do this properly. Jake, what is your number 4?
Shit.
Number 4 of things that I remember having played this year. Let me think. Rental, a little indie game on Steam. Do you guys know the game?
It sounds familiar.
You play a little bunny and you go into a little rental vacation with your family, but something's off and it's kind of satanic.
That's awesome.
It's a very
love
lovely
Satan.
game. I think it costs like $2 or $3, and I can only recommend it to everyone. It's short, but it's so
It's
cool.
actually free, but you can buy the zine version. You can buy the zine DLC to give them money.
That's
Yes,
badass.
you might want to do that because wow, it's like technically impressive. It does new visual things that I haven't seen in games, which I always appreciate when like indie games play around with the engine. It's really cool.
I love
Audience, it would be very cool if while you're filling that cart up for your Steam sales, that you added rental on there, and then we just give them as a community a bunch of money because they're cool.
It is currently
only
$250.
It is
the only
only
Steam review I've ever written.
It is only the only Steam review Jake has ever written. That's pretty impressive. $250, and you can make someone
USD.
smile a little bit.
Yippee!
Yippee! Thank you, Jake. You may now sit back down. Away from the mic, Jake.
Away from the mic.
Jake, I need to go speak and say the question, Jake.
Read the question.
Fine, Jake, just stand up here while I read the question then. Fuck.
Stand.
Really killing
I'm
my...
standing.
No, stop levitating. Stand.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm flying away.
Ah, fuck. Someone go
You
get Jake.
fucking
Cause, go get
Europeans
Jake.
and your fucking psychokinetic powers.
You're just like King Piccolo.
Thank
He floats. That's a joke.
I'm just jealous because I'm only half European, so I didn't get the powers.
Burnout fathers, Eddie says, due to getting Final Fantasies as Christmas presents growing up, I tend to play a highly anticipated for me RPG in the winter months. Do you have any similar gaming holiday traditions from your childhood?
Oh, Cullen loves this one.
Not even from my childhood, but I like to play RPGs specifically in the wintertime because they're like the coziest, chillest games you could possibly play. And if I play one that's too stressful, I just drop it from the holiday season RPG list.
So SMT is out of the question.
Well, I'm too good at those, so that would never be an issue.
I thought I was more talking about like the narrative, like essence of those games, where it's like it's very heavy. So it's like
most about gameplay for me on that one, on what counts or doesn't.
Oh, okay. So existentialism doesn't affect you in the holidays.
No. Yeah. I got enough of that. Having said that, I should probably actually finish Metaphor in the holiday season, but that would be too easy, wouldn't it?
You are very close to the end.
I am. But,
I would very much like to talk about that game with you.
I can try to fit it in. Unfortunately, my copy is on Xbox, so I can't just play it on Switch, on Steam Deck. So, but yeah, I love playing RPGs in the winter. It's very cozy. What I would do for the past like 5 years when one was actually out is I would just boot up a Trails game, and I would just spend Christmas morning after presents and stuff, and the family spent time together, just playing Trails on my Vita or whatever. And it was always super fun. And I'll be doing that this year by playing Trails from through with Daybreak or whatever, because those Trails games, they are cozy.
Mm-hmm. I can go ahead. So as far as like gaming holiday traditions from my childhood go, I don't have a lot of gaming traditions from my childhood, mostly because a lot of my Christmases weren't. I used to get I used to get games on Christmas, but I wouldn't play them on Christmas because we would be very busy on Christmas. We'd go all over the place. We'd have a lot of people over. I would never play those games until like the day after. But as an adult, I've actually formed a lot of traditions for myself. So when I have money, i.e. when I am employed, on Christmas morning, I spend a lot of money buying things for my friends. Like I buy a lot of video games for my friends. I spend anywhere between $200 to $400 on people. Not on each person. That's incredible. But like I basically, I go, this is my budget. I'm going to buy something for as many people as I can. And that's usually what I do if I'm in like a good financial spot or like a really good financial spot.
I've never gotten
I haven't done that recently. What happened?
I've never gotten a game from you.
Jake, we haven't known each other for Christmas yet.
I'll remember this conversation when I don't get a present for Christmas.
You sure about that?
Although last Christmas I wasn't employed, so that's why I didn't do that last Christmas.
Ah, okay. You weren't unemployed.
Christmas.
Okay, I forgive you.
GC was broke.
See, everything lines up. So I usually do that. Other than that, I've developed a certain tradition on Christmas where, for the most part, I spend time with my family, and then I sit in a voice call with a lot of friends, mostly friends that I know from real life, and even sometimes just like friends from online, and we just kind of hang out all day. And I just play a game, and I don't worry about anything. Sometimes I crack open a window, let the as cold as the air can get in Florida come in through the window, and I really just kind of vibe on Christmas. I'm more of a people person when it comes to like traditions. I like spending time with my family, and yeah.
I don't have any traditions.
That's okay.
Due to things that happened with my family, in which I was mostly just left alone on Christmas, and I got to have friends over all the time. I guess you being here is a Christmas tradition now, because you've come to LA like 2 times in a row for Christmas to avoid the horrible weather in Germany.
Yeah, that is a tradition.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Jake?
Oh, I wasn't even aware that there could be something like gaming tradition related to, I guess, the weather and the season. I always play video games.
But like, do you have any holiday traditions in general?
Nah, I play a lot. I would always get video games for Christmas, and I would immediately play them, not spend much time with my family, because I'm an only child, so I'm allowed to do whatever I want, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
One year I got like Dead Space, and I immediately played, and I made my room dark and made it really loud, because as a teenager you think it's like really cool, like to shock your parents what violent game they actually got you. It was very silly.
Is that your favorite game you got for Christmas?
Nah, the best Christmas was when I got Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. I unwrapped it, and like my best friend back then was there. Like my mom actually asked him what to get for me, and he said that, and I was like, oh my god, Mom, why would you do that to me? And she was like, what? I thought this was good. And then we explained to her that it's like a very hard game where everyone cries because they can't beat it. It was very silly.
I love that. That's awesome. My favorite game I got for Christmas was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. It was a Christmas where my parents were too tired to put the presents under the tree, so they just put them in their room. Nice. And I woke up and there were no presents under the tree, so I cried for like 2 hours thinking I had been a naughty kid and I didn't get any presents from Santa. Oh my God, no. And then they opened their door, there were games everywhere.
That is so cute. Oh my God.
Yeah, I behaved really well that year.
I remember when my parents had more money and they gifted me Pokemon Silver and Gold for Christmas, but we had another family visiting and their son cried when he didn't get a Pokemon game for Christmas. So my parents pressured me into giving one of my gifts to him, which was like fine, but in retrospect, I still can't believe that happened.
Which one did you give up?
Gold.
I had Silver when I was young.
Yeah, I like Silver because I thought Lugia looked cooler.
Yeah, I got both too. You know,
I like Silver because I watched Pokemon the movie 2000.
Wow.
I used to watch that movie all the time, and I was like, it's weird that Lugia talks, but I'm kind of into it.
And I love the song it did, Underwater.
Yeah, very pretty. I also like the flute song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it back to me?
It's back to you.
It's question now, no?
No, we already got
the question.
Yeah. So this is gonna surprise people, but bottom 5 games of the year for me is Balatro is one of them.
All right.
With that, you guys spent a whole section of a podcast episode talking about how you guys didn't like it.
Like we said, it's a recap episode, you know?
Fair enough. It's our first episode.
Yeah, it's mostly because like this game really is just like a gambling simulator. Like I actually downloaded it when I was with my family over Thanksgiving because I just needed something to do while everybody was watching American football. And I was like, oh, this is literally just like a roguelite poker game. And I think all of the praise it's getting with very little commentary or criticism as to what it is pretty dangerous. Not to sound like all hoity-toity or whatever about it. But I don't think the game deserves a lot of that like uncritical praise for what is basically just training people to pay poker and feeding into a passive gambling addiction that could actually result in something more tangible, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Finish. So, I talked about this on stream, either yesterday or today. I forget which day it was, but Local Thunk is on record. Local Thunk has done a lot of Local Thunk is the person that made Balatro for anybody that doesn't know, or like the lead on the game because they made it with a bunch of friends. So they're on record as basically saying in a lot of their like stipulations for the IP itself, like either in their will or like certain contracts that they've had to sign or something, it basically says that casinos, gambling, none of that shit is allowed to use the Balatro IP for it.
Yes.
And from what I understand, Local Thump is very aggressive about essentially insisting that this is not inspired by gambling.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like I agree with everything you're saying, Kazuma, where like basically like the problem is that because you're using poker as a base, because the idea is that you're acquiring chips, because of the way your roguelike deck builder is essentially themed and built and the way it works, it's not like a different kind of deck building game. If you've ever played a different kind of deck building game, you understand the difference between Balatro and other deck building games.
Fucking Slay the Spire, like literally one of the most popular deck building games of all time.
Slay Spire, slay.
It is very different. Balatro is built on a lot of risk versus reward, much more so than other deck building games, like way more so than other deck building games.
It also uses the same language of like chips, payouts, straights, flushes,
100%.
straights. Anyways, sorry.
And unfortunately, all of that, and we've talked about it before, I am a gambling addict / recovering gambling addict / relapsing gambling addict. The way I'll put it, and these are my experiences as a gambling addict, the way I put it, other deck building games like Slay the Spire do not activate my need to gamble the way playing Balatro does. I do not think Balatro is very fun. However, I have about 50 hours in Balatro, and I can almost promise you that the reason I have 50 hours in Balatro is that Balatro activates and satisfies that need for me to want to gamble. That's
so scary.
It hits my brain in the same way that gambling does. And I can say that with a lot of certainty. So I feel bad for Local Thunk. I understand Local Thunk has made a lot of efforts to be like, I don't want this to be associated with gambling. Unfortunately,
it's the visual language that's used.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Like
if your game looks like poker, it's poker.
Yeah, like you have unfortunately designed your game and visually built it around gambling things. Like poker in the public consciousness is associated with gambling. If you make something that resembles poker in any way, people that play it will associate it with gambling, and gamblers will feel activated by it. And that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I play Balatro to satisfy my gambling cravings. The way to like, you do not prevent gambling by enabling it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work that way. If I play Balatro, when I'm done playing Balatro, I'm like, man, I want to go hit the slots. Like, that is my feeling. That is how I feel. That is what happens to me. So, like, you know, you're totally justified, Kazuma, when you say that stuff. Like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and that's why it's in my bottom 5, just because of how closely it uses the visual language of poker, how that translates to how people engage with it. And there are probably going to be people that are like, well, it's not like poker at all. It's a roguelite. Well, it's still fucking gambling, right? Like,
you're building poker hands. You are gambling on whether or not you're going to be able to form those poker hands. It is very different from a deck building game where in traditional deck builders, you know what's in your deck. You know what's going to come out. You have like maybe 15 cards in it, and you're like, okay, like there's a lot, and a lot of the bonuses you get in other deck building games, like little artifacts that change the way the game is played. Those are guaranteed effects. They aren't things like 1 in 6 chance to do this, or if you make another pair, you'll get this. A lot of that stuff relies on the uncertainty of like, oh, but you might not get it. And that, oh, but you might not get it is sort of like the thing of like, oh, but this time I will, but this time I will, but this time I will, but this time I will.
Just like a gotcha.
Yeah, just like a gotcha game,
and, And just like actual fucking playing cards, like playing blackjack. Yeah, I like how my top 5 so far have been like bad cultural representation that leaves me feeling nothing, shitty game made by a Zionist, and this game is a gambling simulator. What nice things I have to say about Balatro. Clown funny, and that's it.
Oh.
Yeah, it is very like creative. It is very creative.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I love the various clowns you can get.
I'll say this.
Clowns, yeah.
I'm looking forward to Local Thunk's next game if they make one.
Yeah. They don't have to at this point, but
yeah. And maybe if they want to make another game and they're really troubled by the associations between gambling and the game they've made, like ideally I would expect that their next game doesn't really have that association.
Yeah, just literally if it just had a different visual language.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still be like, it's like a gambling game, you know, it's gotcha. People pretending that it's not are, I'm sorry, you're delusional. I'm mean tonight. I'm fucking mean tonight. But yeah, I think if it just had a different visual language, then I would be less harsh on it.
Yep.
But yeah. So, the Middler.
The Middler.
Handing out awards. It's the Middler.
What up, guys? It's me, the Middler. My wife hasn't left me, but she threatens she will. It's kind of in the middle. I don't know.
She's thinking about it.
She's thinking about it. So the next award I have to give is the let's see which one of these is good. I wrote more awards than I need to give out, but like that's always good. Let's go with yeah, sure. That's a solid number 3. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. Okay. This is the Loop-de-Loop award. It is the game with the best loop-de-loop. That is going to go to Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. Let me tell you about Hot Wheels Unleashed. Hot Wheels Unleashed is a racing game with like if you like arcade racing, not simulation racing. If you're a simulation racing kind of guy, you're not going to like this, or kind of person, you're not going to like this. But if you like Burnout, if you like Need for Speed
culture,
if you like those kinds of games, Hot Wheels Unleashed is great. It is a racing game built around drifting, around turns, and the track is a Hot Wheels track. So if you were a kid, if you always ever wanted Hot Wheels and you never got them, like me, Hot Wheels Unleashed sort of unlocked that part of your childhood for you, where it has a track editor. You can edit your cars to like make them look pretty and stuff. I've seen some wild stuff online. You can download other people's like custom car designs and their tracks and stuff and test them out yourself. Online play is almost exclusively surrounding like custom tracks that have been upvoted a bunch. And it has loop-de-loops, it has corkscrews, it has magnetic tracks. So people have come up with all sorts of wild stuff. And like the people that make the game have come up with some really cool tracks, to the point where like you don't even need to have an actual racetrack. You could just create checkpoints that people have to drive through and just put them in a map. And there's various maps and stuff like that. And it was great. Hot Wheels Unleashed, great game. The sequel, Turbocharged, adds a jump button. The game, most of it is pretty much the same. But the addition of a jump button means that now tracks can be a little bit more punishing. Tracks can be a little bit more demanding of the players. Players no longer can burn boost nonstop. They actually have to conserve their boost because boost is needed for jumps to be performed. So there's actually like a really nice balance of like knowing when to boost, knowing when to take advantage of a turn, knowing when to drift, saving up your boost in order to jump, not missing the pickups that sometimes they place on tracks so that you can guaranteed jump. And the track design is better. You can also perform acrobatics in your cars. It is a very fun racing game. It is a racing game that something true to a lot of really good arcade racers is that creativity is allowed. And that used to be in the form of takedowns and Burnout
culture,
or takedowns and Burnout, or your car designs in Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 kind of combines all of those things together in this really nice package, and it is great. It is a ton of fun. I highly recommend you go pick it up if you haven't. Wait for it to go on sale. It probably will. It's been out for a while already. Yeah, it's great. I would love to play with friends someday. It is fantastic. The story is very clearly written by someone whose English is not their first language, and the localization is very clearly done locally. They did not outsource localization, but otherwise it is a sweet series of challenges. People have made some really cool car designs in it, some really cool track designs in it. It is a shame that the game is not more popular, but that's why I'm giving it an award. It has the Loop-de-Loop award. Those Loop-de-Loops are fucking sick.
Yay, loops.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Adore it. By the way, did you know that a martini's flavor profile is not really like significantly changed whether it's stirred or shaken?
Then okay. I guess it's just like the pretension of like
I didn't know.
Shaken, not stirred.
Yeah, like that was just a thing that James Bond made up.
British.
To be like, he did it intentionally to be more complicated, to buy him more time in the movie because he was doing spy stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, because it takes longer to shake a drink than it does to stir one.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Bond.
That's badass.
You're welcome. Hello. Shaken, not stirred. Is Sean Connery alive or is he dead already?
What? He's alive? What the hell?
Wait, he's alive?
No, I think he died a couple years ago.
He's 90 years old. Yeah, he died in 2020.
Damn. Out of COVID.
Hello.
I have
got
COVID
COVID
now.
and died?
No, I lied. It's called
I was
lying
the most
Kazuma.
famous James Bond. Please do not remember the time they put me in yellow face.
Or the time I beat my wife.
He what?
Oh yeah.
He
Google it.
Notorious
beat his
for hitting his
wife.
wife.
He beat his wife for one of the James Bond movies. They put him in yellow face. Like they put like prosthetics on his face to make him look quote unquote Asian or Japanese.
Wow.
And then he speaks really bad Japanese. He's like, Watashi no James Bond desu. Sounds really bad.
Well, little man.
It's my turn?
Yeah, go ahead, little man.
I'm sorry, who are you speaking to?
You.
The little guy.
No,
little
but
guy.
See, you're saying a little person needs to get up, and I am not a little guy, so you must be referring to someone.
You are a little guy, Cullen.
Like
No.
Like aura wise, like
No.
little.
The greatest
No.
birthday present you could have
No.
given me is admitting that
No.
you were a little guy.
No. No.
He didn't do that, by the way.
Wow.
Why would I lie?
Some friend you are.
I would not lower myself to appease GC.
Did you know that like I watched a different podcast. I was listening to a different podcast the other day while I was on my bike.
Trader?
And,
For real.
and
But you wish you were editing their
apparently-
episode.
Apparently, did you know that like a lot of times when they measure your height as a guy, they lie about your height by about 2 inches. They always measure you 2 inches taller than you actually are in a lot of things, which makes a lot of sense because my license says I'm 5'8", but I'm actually 5'6", and I did not ask them to do that. They just did that for me.
Yeah, and the worst part is when someone measures you and already adds like, let's say 2, what was it, inches or whatever?
Yeah, it inflates your ego.
Yeah, no, not only that, but then the guy will be like, that's my height, so I guess I can just add 2 inches. And suddenly you're like super tall on your ID, even though you're not actually
Hello,
that tall.
yes, I'm 6'2".
Well, see, what I was going to say is that I always measure myself because I don't want people lying to me because I don't trust
Exactly.
anyone. And I always tell them 6'2", and they just put it on there. So
Yeah.
I think once you get past 6 foot, like they just like, oh, we don't need to do that. You
know
already
that-
know you're in the big boy league.
You realize that's a self-report, right? Because it implies
it's
that
not.
you lie about your height.
No,
Because you
it's
just
not.
tell
I
people
said I was telling the
whatever,
truth.
and they just take you at your word.
no, they know. They could. You look at me and say he's 6'2". You could see it. That's the
I
thing.
don't know
Everyone
about
like
that.
it's like, oh, Cullen, little guy, little guy, little guy.
Oh.
I'm tall as fuck.
I don't know.
GC
We were about the same height when we met at MagFest.
You're lying.
And pictures,
Because you're
you
like
also do look kinda short.
5'2". We're gonna see each other at MagFest, and you're gonna hurt your neck because the entire time you're gonna be like straining it, looking up.
Is
Well,
that
that's
a
just 'cause
threat
I-
of violence against your friend?
That's just because I have neck problems,
No,
man. You
it's a
can't-
threat. It's a threat of reality because he's small. Anyway,
'cause-
Big Boy's coming up to list off his thing.
Mhm.
Go ahead, little guy.
I'll sit back down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll skip you. Jake, go ahead.
No, little guy cannot go before me.
Go
And
ahead.
this, the music's playing.
Yeah, just me going, some Christmas shit. I don't know.
No, you do the Christmas. You're gonna keep this in. Fuck you. It's Christmas stuff for the other parts. Then when we go to rewards, you do like a little like ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then we go and the game is. Then you do a drum roll, and then you go back to generic award music. And then when we have the little interim
Chestnuts
discussions,
roasting on an open
you're like you're making fun of me, but I know how to tell. We gotta. It's the presentation. We gotta give the people something special.
I'm thinking of a non-white
Chat.
Christmas.
Chat, when
I love
GC does the bare minimum on this, I want you to remember that I tried to give you a good show here. Remember that our unpaid intern GC didn't want to edit on Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Anyway, speaking of Feliz Navidad, my next
Prospero
award
año.
goes to the best game with Goku in it.
Budokai Tenkaichi 3?
I've narrowed this down a lot of options here to pick from for the best game with Goku in it, but there
Nice
was
category.
one that brought everyone together and really just did a bit of a sparking
I don't even think you played this fucking
of
game.
hearts. I did. My roommates let me play it. I did play this game, and my roommate was there.
Yeah.
This sparking, wonderful video game that shows that fighting games can be good.
Oh,
It's
they're
that
it's
fucking
so
Dragon
good.
Ball mobile game, isn't it?
No.
So the
Elden
best
Ring?
game with Goku in it is
Fortnite!
Emio the Smiling Man. Come on down.
I hate you.
Emio, ladies and gentlemen,
Get a room.
the man you love.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Emio, you are the best game of 2024 with Goku in it.
Is Sean Schummel in that game?
No, Sean Schummel doesn't speak Japanese.
Soul this cop.
So,
All
what
right,
do
we
you
have a
guys
question.
say about Goku and Smiling Man?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I sat back down.
Okay,
and
no,
then
but
the
for
other
real,
guy,
though.
the other guy who reads the comments, the questions. Now he's sat up, so we're gonna read a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're waiting.
Yeah, I'm scrolling on my phone. Fucking dick. Lose. Oh, I hate you. I hate you
Dickhead.
so
Dickhead without the
Rolling, I guess
fucking
I could
much.
give my number 3.
No,
Oh yeah, Jake,
no.
go ahead.
No,
Give
we
me
have
your number 3.
Fine,
Fine,
fine.
don't mind
You
me.
get back
I almost
up there.
forgot about you again, Jake. I'm sorry.
Don't mind me at all. Don't mind me.
I couldn't see you because you're a
You
little
just have
guy.
such a warm presence. You're like a warm
you.
fire, You're just always there.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. Let me think. Number 3 of games that I remember playing this year. I really like, and I think Kazu mentioned it earlier. It was the Wizardry Variants Daphne.
Ooh.
It's like a wizardry game, so you explore dungeons with a party. Party members can be good, evil, neutral, and this will all affect your party. It's a very hard game, very high difficulty. You have to strategize a lot. Absolutely amazing, so much fun. And I downloaded it. It surprised me that it existed. Kazu recommended it to me. And I'm obsessed. Like, the game, I guess I can spoiler it because no one will ever download it. But the game has a time loop mechanic, which is so fucking cool. Like,
I love that.
You go
especially
through this
in a wizardry game.
Yes, you go through this entire dungeon to save the king, but a lot of stuff happens. Not too much spoiler, yada yada. But for reasons, like, it throws you back in time, and then you just have to start over again. And every time you know more on how to save certain people, how to go certain ways, and I'm still hoping that eventually I can save the king. It's so interesting. The characters are cool. I love the intricacy of all the skills they have. But yeah, as Kazu mentioned, the game hasn't really updated much. They had one Halloween event, which was almost impossible to be high enough level to play. And yeah, they haven't changed their character roster. It is a gacha game, keep that in mind. Very hard to get pulls to. But I like grindy games, and I'm a gacha freak. And yeah, I love the game. If you like wizardry games, if you like hard dungeon crawlers, you should check it out.
Sick.
It's only on mobile?
Yeah, it's only on mobile.
Unfortunately, but it feels like a game that should have been released on PC.
A shame.
Big
Shame that one day it will no longer exist.
Yep, I'm preparing for that.
Oh, gotcha games.
So
gotcha.
the next one that's in my bottom 5 will
question.
probably what? No,
We
did
have
we already
questions.
do the question? Okay, question
No, we
time.
have questions.
don't have
Exy
it.
says,
Yes.
ghost stories for Christmas are a tradition over here. If you're old or old at heart, what's the spookiest thing that's happened to y'all in the holiday season?
I got one. I got one of
scary
these.
things.
I got one of these. I got ghost
Okay.
stories.
Okay.
When I was in middle school, my friend group were all the kids that lived in my grandmother's apartment building. I became friends with one of the new kids in the apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, as you do with your friends, you sleep over their house. And because it was in the same apartment complex, it was really easy to just sleep over, right? Like,
Yeah.
I slept over his house, and we slept on so some apartments, if you've ever been in an apartment before, sometimes you get a balcony, sometimes you don't get a balcony, but your living room space is bigger, right? You get like that extra extension, and that makes up for the lack of the balcony. He had one of those where it was like, it wasn't part of the living room. There was like a little step, and then you had like 4 feet, 5 feet of floor and no balcony, but you had like the window and everything, whatever. It was like, it was like an inside balcony, right?
Yeah.
We slept there. I woke up in the middle of the night. This is a series of stories, but they're going to be very quick because they're just very like assorted like experiences. I woke up in the middle of the night and around December, I slept over his house, and I woke up in the middle of the night to the blinds being open. Like I would literally hear the shh, shh, shh. I thought nothing of it. I thought, whatever, somebody's opening the blinds for whatever fucking reason. I didn't want to be a bother. So I kept my eyes closed and I went back to bed. The next morning, my friend was like, why'd you open the blinds? And I was like, I didn't open the blinds. You opened the blinds. And he was like, I don't open the blinds. And I was like, oh, that's weird. But I'm a skeptic. So I was like, okay, whatever. Later on, we decided to go to the pool. I met up with him at his house. I left my shoes at his house. And another friend of mine left their shoes at his house. And we went to the pool. When we went back up to his house to go get him, after I'd taken a shower and stuff, I was like, hey, I want to go get your shoes. I called him. I was like, I'm going to go get my shoes. And he goes, I left your shoes at the front of the house. It was a very close-knit community. So they left the front door open, but they closed the back. That apartment complex is pretty old. So they have the gate and then the front door, right? You ever seen those where it's like you have a front door and then you have like a gate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So they left the front door open, but they had locked the gate. But you could still reach in and grab stuff. So he left my shoes where I could grab them. And he left the shoes of my other friend there too. Me and my friend went to go get them. And when we went to go get them, I picked up my shoes and my friend screamed, "What the fuck is that?" And I looked up and there was a white silhouette in front of us. I don't know what the fuck it was. I've never been able to explain what it was. We both ran. So it was just me and another person. I swear to God, this is what I saw. I don't believe in ghosts, but this is what I saw. We saw a white silhouette. My friend was not there. He was like, "We left, but I left the door open so you can get your shoes. I put your shoes at the front." We saw a white silhouette. We ran. I ran back to my grandmother's house as fast as I can. Later on, this all happened in the span of like a month. I went to go help the same friend that lived there move a mattress. When he stepped away to go to the bathroom, I heard whispering and I was like, "That's weird. Whispering's weird." And then as I stood there, the whispering got closer until it filled my ear to the point where I swatted my ear to make it stop.
Yeah.
And then he came back and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "You didn't hear that shit?" And he was like, "No." Freaked me the fuck out. Later on, I found out that the people that had moved out because the father of that family had hung himself off of the veranda, basically like the gated like windows where the balcony would be. He had hung himself from there. And according to the mom of my mom's friend, my friend's mom, according to my friend's mom, that was not the first time somebody had done that in that apartment. So that apartment specifically had a string of suicides.
Oh.
And then all that weird shit happened in like that one like holiday season at the end of the year. And that's
me going to that house and seeing the ghosts. What are you, some kind of Suicide Squad?
Oh my God.
But yeah, so that's what I learned. I didn't learn it in exactly that order, but like I wanted to condense it as much as I could. And yeah, that's my holiday ghost story.
Mine is whenever I forget to take my pills, I now have audio visual like hallucinations, and I thought there was like a dead person standing in the corner of my room.
That's fucked up. What do you got to tell me later what you take for your shit, because I do not want to take that.
Oh no, it's if I don't take my pills, like I'm actually developing psychosis.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, because a lot of the stuff that we both have the same. People don't know we both have the same mental
type
health
of bipolar.
Thing. Yeah, we both have the same like bipolar thing.
Go ahead, Dave, what did you want to say?
You're both sweet little boys with a beautiful disorder.
Both of our medications are bipolar medications, for people who don't know, are also antipsychotics.
Yeah, we have to be on lithium.
Yeah, so when you don't take them or you forget to take them, even if you don't experience things that are psychosis, you get like, it's essentially, for lack of a better word, it's like withdrawal. Like another thing that I get when I stopped taking my meds was I would get muscle spasms, because the medication I was taking was also a medication they give to Parkinson's, people with Parkinson's. So when I stopped taking my meds, I would get muscle spasms, and I would like literally like sit there and I would like fidget and like shoot my arm out and like kick my legs and stuff like that, because like that's just like your body, like it's supposed to compensate for what your body doesn't do. But if your body does it and you take that medication for something else and you stop taking that medication, the withdrawal symptoms are basically your body having to readjust to having to do that for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've begun to develop psychosis, and when I don't take my pills, it was very bizarre, because I was like, damn, what's going on? Like, I'm laying in bed trying to sleep, and I look over and I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. And I like also was like hearing stuff, and I was like, what's going on? I was so stressed out over deadlines, I forgot to take my medication for like a day and a half. So that's my ghost story. Take your pills, kids. Take your pills.
Take your meds.
The scariest thing that's ever happened to me on a Christmas holiday is any of the times I spent Christmas in Florida, and I would walk outside to like 80-degree weather.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's awful. Florida sucks.
What part of Florida?
Yes. I'm not gonna dox my dead grandparents, GC. Come on.
They don't live anymore. There doesn't matter.
They don't live anymore.
Listen, you see what he's saying about ghosts? This is fucked up.
They're dead. Like,
get
fucking,
haunted,
where did they
GC,
live?
Get haunted.
No, you're
No, I'm from Florida.
Haunted.
Where did they live?
I don't know.
What town? What city? What area?
Let's just say Jacksonville.
Was this the grandma that gave you the jeans?
Yeah, it was the Gene Ma.
Okay.
No,
Jacksonville.
She didn't
that's how I know you're full of
jeans.
shit. Jacksonville gets cold in the winter. You fucking.
I don't remember what the fuck town they lived in. I was young,
and it was colder back then than it is now. So you're full of shit.
No, it was hot as fuck.
Was it West Palm Beach? I'll believe West Palm Beach.
Old people lived there. They lived
West Palm Beach.
They weren't even near a beach. They was just where
West
old
Palm
people...
Beach doesn't have beaches. It's just called that.
Well, fine. I don't fucking know. Like, again, it was traumatic, basically.
I want to find out. Ask your parents, and then let me know later, and I'll tell you.
All right, I'll let you know.
But where I live now in Florida actually gets like decently like not like cold, but it gets like less hot. But yeah, 80-degree weather in Florida is normal.
Yeah, it sucks. I want cold at Christmas.
No, man, you can go to the beach all year.
Yeah, let's go to the beach.
Let's go to LA. Wait a second.
I love how everyone responded to that. So are we? Now it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's the Madler.
Yeah, it's true. The hater. So my number 4 pick is actually Polya, a game that I am a content creator for, and really liked and played a lot, and that's because a lot of the gameplay decisions they've made no longer cater to casual players, but instead to a very hardcore group, because people were basically being able to obtain things too easy, which was kind of the appeal of the game. Like, they nerfed the amount of money you could get from crops. They made it like more costly to build things in terms of rewards. And also, you know that story that I tell about that one year at the TGAs where someone got so drunk they couldn't speak and misgendered me?
Mm-hmm.
Former Polya community developer.
Ooh.
So, you know, there's a little something personal there, but also it's just a shame to see where the game has gone. And that's largely because I think they needed to monetize the game and have some kind of player retention, and I think they did it in like the worst way possible. Also, the outfits are fucking ugly. So, you know.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. If they had charged me $10 to play Polya, I probably would have played more Polya.
Yeah, because I think it would have contributed to the development of the game.
Or even $20. Like, I've played Polya. Like, you could have sold me that. You could have told me, we want to charge like $20 to $30, and yes, it is a live service game, but also like
you have cosmetics you can buy.
You have cosmetics you can buy, and also like content is pretty easy to achieve, and like it's just a game where we want to sort of harness that farm life aesthetic in a way that's like more massive multiplayer focused, and I would have been okay with that. I would have been like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because my favorite thing about that game is like making furniture and like decorating my house.
Yep.
In like a really maximalist way.
And showing people.
Yeah, and like the one thing I will definitely praise it is like the housing system in terms of like how you can decorate your house down to really minute details. And it's a shame because I think that game has become a lot of wasted
potential.
Yeah, a lot of wasted potential. And that's why it's in my bottom 5.
I agree. Also, it just doesn't feel great when you're misgendered.
Yeah.
It really sours like how you feel about the person that makes the stuff or is involved in the creation of the stuff you're enjoying when they're like not respecting you or not like bothering to, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Polya.
It's also just a really bad look for your studio if you have studio representatives, specifically community devs, like at an event so drunk they can't speak properly.
This goes back to the thing we were talking about I think literally in the last episode where we were like, you have to, you know, if you represent a company and you're at the Game Awards or some sort of event, you should probably like keep that in mind that you're there. Like, even if you're there to have fun and you're not trying to like quote unquote network, which is like its own problem, like you still kind of represent everybody else, and like you want to try to leave a good impression. If you don't end up leaving a good impression, like whatever, but like you want to try to be kind of like semi-pro, you know?
Exactly. I even was told like this year that people were already like crazy shit-faced about an hour and a half after the award show ended, and I had made the correct choice by not going to like the one area where everybody drinks. And I was like, I'm glad people are wising up to it, that it's just not worth it. Like, it just sucks. Everyone's just getting drunk, like extremely drunk once a year.
If you're at a party and like 2 people are wasted, that's funny and that's okay. If everybody's wasted, I'm going home.
Yes, exactly.
like we talked about this earlier, Cullen, but like if you are wasted, but you are like really fun and you're very respectful even when you're wasted, which by the way, you can be.
By the way, I'm at that right now.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. If you are able to carry yourself, if you are
everything right with it, if you're me.
I remember, and I know this is patting myself on the back, but it is an example that is really good. Is
when you got butt naked at McDonald's?
When I went to MagFest last year, I stayed in a room with a lot of my friends. I was the only cishet guy in the group, and when I got to the back to the hotel room, it was that night, Cullen, that like I had like I don't know how I had like an espresso martini, another thing. I don't remember what I paid for everybody's drinks because I was drunk as hell. And I went back to the hotel room, and one of the things that my good friend said to me, she said, GC, she said something to the effect of like, I'm really happy that you can be totally shit-faced and still gender me correctly. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you don't even think about it. You just do it. If you are able to be that person, and you are able to have, even in your most shit-faced of all shit-faced times, you're able to remember, oh, I should be respectful. Hey, what are your pronouns? Or, hey, what's your name? Or even that. That is fine. If you are shit-faced and you get shit-faced and you're like, I'm just going to say whatever comes off the top of my head, it would be better for you. I don't care about anybody else. I care about you, the person. It would be better for you to not do that. Don't get shit-faced, because you're going to say shit you regret, or you're going to say shit that you don't mean. But if you're using your inebriation as an excuse to behave in a certain way, that is not acceptable. Whether or not you claim to intend to do it or not, if you cannot handle it, you should know that and like plan ahead with that expectation in mind, especially if you're in a professional setting. And the Game Awards, as bullshit as awards are, is a professional setting.
Yes. Despite whatever Jeff Keighley is doing, you are in fact representing a company when you go there.
Yeah. Do you think Jeff Keighley gets paid for wearing like his sneakers at the Game Awards?
You know what? If it's like a brand, I can see it being a sponsorship. I feel like he's a man who just takes money, like at any given
that's
opportunity.
obvious.
Like,
you see the fucking
pissed,
cat, the AI cat like trailer at the Game Awards?
Oh, so I looked at the trailer of that because I missed the Game Awards, but I looked at the trailer today or yesterday, and I was like, because people were like, oh, so this is a very brief tangent. I'm sorry, everybody. I watched that trailer and I looked into it, and people were, there was like an article that was like, oh, the person that like one of the people leading the development on the game says that, it's not AI. And I read the quote, and the quote is something like, actually, there's no technology that could produce that. And people are saying, like, people in the industry are agreeing with me. And I'm like, when your game gets accused of being AI produced, usually the response I would have is, hey, here's pictures of us developing the game. Here's pictures of our artists. This is how our company structure is. This is who we have working on the game itself. These are the tools we use. Like, I would actually make an effort to be like, this is actually our workflow to prove that it's not AI. The response of, actually, there's nothing in existence that could possibly generate this stuff, and also people agree with me, is not the response I would give. I'm not saying that they're lying, but lying. I am speculating that is a little bit dubious.
GC, you just have to do a quick Google. There are amazing threads on Blue Sky and on Reddit, like where you see all of the AI details that used to be on their website that they deleted and hid. Like,
I was gonna get into that. Yeah. Like they literally, like, removing shit from your website is not a great accompanying piece to that.
Have you read the Steam description of the game? Even that is written by AI, clearly.
And also the fact that, like, one of the producers is, like, credited for a bunch of AI based productions.
Yeah. Like, it's so embarrassing. Like, stop acting like this. Just be honest. Everyone can see you're a clown.
They're so full of shit. I need to get a picture of Jeff Keighley's sneakers. Anyway, let us move on. Who's next? Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it's the middler.
It's the middler.
The middler.
Drinking martinis. He's the middler.
So I've got a couple of, like I said, I've written more awards than I can give out, but this is sort of a sleeper choice because I wish I liked this game. I wish I played more of this game. And that's why it is getting the most likely to kill the vibe award. Because people that kill the vibe aren't necessarily bad people, but they kill the vibe. And it's like, man, I really wish you wouldn't kill the fucking vibe. And that award goes to Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Dragon's Dogma 2. So the reason I've given Dragon's Dogma 2 the most likely to kill the vibe award is Dragon's Dogma 2 actually does a lot of things that I wish more games did in our modern era. Dragon's Dogma 2 is like, here's a quest, go do it. We're not going to tell you how to solve it. Dragon's Dogma 2 is like, fast travel is sort of like a suggestion more than it is a built-in feature. Really love that. Like, basically, you ever hear, if you've ever been in the modding community for Skyrim and you hear what people say as like their like ideal Skyrim experience, it's like, I don't want to fast travel. I want to do survival mode. I want risks. I want, a challenging experience. That's what Dragon's Dogma 2 is. Dragon's Dogma 2 is legitimately what those people want. The problem is that Dragon's Dogma 2, in my opinion, sort of forgets that it also needs to sort of not appease general audiences, but sometimes inconveniencing the player is a part of game design. People don't often think about it that way, but yes, restricting the player in certain ways is part of game design. Not giving you everything that you want is part of game design. If you've ever used Cheat Engine, if you've ever used a trainer, if you've ever used anything that breaks a game or like exploited Skyrim, you would know that doing so kind of ruins the fun of it. So, that in and of itself is a game design choice. However, I feel like Dragon's Dogma 2 kills the vibe in the way that I have ultimately decided that the sickness that your pawns can get, where they can inevitably, first of all, having a game mechanic where your pawns can get sick and eventually become a threat to the characters in the game is a sick idea. I love that idea. I don't think that idea is bad, but I think where it gets to a point where people are saying, yeah, my pawn got sick, basically killed everybody in the town, and kind of like ruined a bunch of opportunities for me to experience the game. I feel like that is a step too far.
Yeah.
And I think it is fair to say that Dragon's Dogma 2, and that's why it's number 2, right? Dragon's Dogma 2 is very fun. It's a very cool game. It has a lot of freedom. I love that. I love that about Dragon's Dogma 2. I don't want you to change anything about Dragon's Dogma 2, and they did patch this. I don't know to what extent, but I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is the friend that parties too hard. It is the friend that is really fun to party with, but sometimes they party too hard. And I've been that friend where they slap the drink out of your hand, or they start dancing and they attract a crowd and then they throw up on the floor.
Oh.
And you're like, ooh, this is going to be a tough night. I think that's what Dragon's Dogma 2 is. I really love the freedom of expression in that game. I really love how the game just kind of lets you do whatever you want. It doesn't tell you everything. It doesn't give you concrete choices. It just lets you interact, and it responds to your interactions without hand holding you. So like Skyrim, you'll get dialogue choices. Whereas in Dragon's Dogma 2, it's what you decide to do is how you decide to do it. And like, they kind of either accept it or reject it. And like, that is the game sort of responding to your interaction, as opposed to a game where they present you with a choice, right? In Dragon's Dogma 2, you can do whatever you want. You can choose to solve a problem however you want. The game is going to respond in a certain way depending on how you respond to it. That's great. But I think in their endeavor to do that, they inconvenience the player too much, and they create a situation where the game stops being fun. And that's why it gets the most likely to kill the vibe award. You're a great dude. Dragon's Dogma, listen, like, I love partying with you. I'm going to invite you to every party I go to. If I'm hosting a party, like, you are invite number one.
They're going to make your birthday fun.
You're going to make my birthday fun, but like,
sometimes they stay around too long after the party wraps up.
I'm going to roll a dice. I'm going to roll a dice, and you are either going to pick a fight with somebody, or you're going to flirt with the wrong person, or you're going to break one of my shot glasses, which is not cool. Or you're going to throw up, and then I'm going to have to clean it up, or you're going to throw up in the pool, which is a bigger problem. That actually happened at a party I went to. My best friend threw up into a pool that we were at a party, and I was like, fuck, bro. He projectile vomited into the pool.
And it was because
I literally, like, slight tangent. We were talking, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." This guy was built like a truck, by the way. We were 16, and he looked like Hugh Jackman in like his best. Like, think about like the peak Hugh Jackman Wolverine body. That's this guy. And I patted him on the back, and he went, bah! He threw up into a fucking pool and then jumped into it. And I was like, well, I'm going to walk away from this shit. But like, that is Dragon's Dogma 2. It's like, man, you are so cool to party with, but sometimes you party too hard, dog. Anyway, go ahead, Cullen.
Oh shit, it's my turn?
Yeah, go ahead, best boy.
Oh, that is more accurate. Hello everyone. Hi, I hope we're having a good show tonight. Oh, fucking drink away. So I've got a curveball for you, something y'all won't expect.
Yeah.
This year, I played a shooter that genuinely made me so happy. Like, I just, in my heart of hearts, I'm going to give this one the best shooter I played all year.
Okay.
It's Emio the Smiling Man. Come on, Emio.
So good.
You point that cursor and you pull the trigger. Oh,
we love you, baby.
Good at it.
We love you, baby.
You're
Hell
beautiful.
Yeah, Emio.
Emio, sweet.
Emio.
Fuck you, Jeff.
I never even heard of
Emio
this
sweeping
game.
on my game awards, bitch. Anyway, Jay, get up here. Get up
Fuck
here.
the Game Awards, bro.
Get up here.
Here's my trailer for It Takes Two.
Jay, give us the trailer of your number 2.
Number 2. Marvel Rivals. I love Marvel Rivals. I love Jeff. I can't stress enough.
Please explain the memes.
Yes,
the
I'm
memes.
about to.
Oh my god. Okay.
Reddit Shark?
No. This is way better.
The memes on Twitter, especially for Jeff and Iron Fist. Iron Fist? Yeah, right?
Iron Fist and Scarlet Witch.
And Scarlet Witch have been going so hard. Like, they are constantly compared to characters such as Mussolini and
not characters, historical figures.
But characters such as absolutely, like, to, and also, terrorists, etc. Very memorable figures of society. But
Jeff the Shark's Hitler.
Yes, Jeff the Shark is Hitler, which is very dear to my heart because I love Jeff and I hate Hitler. But it's so funny. The memes are hilarious because people are just like, I feel like the crowd that this game attracts is like so mixed. Like this is like memes and jokes that I haven't seen from a game like this before. So I'm like really excited. I see people like enjoying the game. They like that it's unbalanced, just as I do. They like that Jeff like ruins their day. They say this is what you see in hell, and like it's just Jeff going, "Rah!" Like for a week there were like memes of him comparing to an actual drill rapper, King Von. That he's like King Von reincarnated, and he killed people. Okay, it's bad, but it's so funny. And now this week I saw so many people draw cute fan art of Jeff. Everyone loving him.
It's because of his new skin.
Yeah, it's just great. And I like Marvel Rivals. I hope it sticks around for a while. And I love playing with y'all. And yeah,
Aww.
I love that game.
I genuinely have a great time playing it as well.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
We should play
And
together,
it's free
Jake.
for those that haven't tried it yet.
Jake is really good at Marvel Rivals.
Oh my god. So he's been playing a lot like without us, and he's really fucking good at Wolverine. You have like the special Wolverine finisher like icon, you have the spray. It's so funny because not a lot of people play Wolverine, so nobody knows how to fucking deal with Wolverine.
Yo, but
He's
GC's
really hard to play
good
as.
too, though. Y'all should check out his videos on Blue Sky. They're so funny.
The fucking Moon Knight plays.
Yes.
And then there's Cullen, who
I like
felt
Luna.
like I haven't gamed with in years.
Yeah,
We
Cullen.
literally
what's up?
played
Let's
last
go.
Friday.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
You played on my birthday.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Played on
Yeah.
my birthday. I got really drunk and I went on a lot.
You would
of
not
tangents.
have noticed
I
at
would
all.
Not, I did not shut the fuck up
But
that
it was really
entire
good.
birthday. I
No,
was
you
like,
were excitable.
all eyes on me.
That was it. You were just excited.
Yeah. I'm really glad Marvel Rivals is on your list, Jake, because it's on mine.
Yeah, mine too.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any questions?
Yeah, give me questions.
questions.
People actually did questions. I got to do this more often. So for people who aren't in the Discord, by the way, we have a Discord.
Don't usually aren't. You're drunk, GC.
I decided
Usually aren't.
to.
Ooh, can't speak. Oh,
I decided to be
a
like, hey,
mumbler.
we're doing a podcast right now. Ask questions. And a bunch of people left questions. And I was like, and I realized now I was like, we should probably let people know that we're recording when we do so that they can leave
Mhm.
questions.
Yeah.
We actually got a lot of questions. I'm trying
I
to fit
know,
them all
right?
in.
That's why I'm like, we got to do it next time.
Yeah, I'm trying to fit them all in so we can fucking go home. So Snig says, I recently finished Metaphor Refantazio. I liked it. It made me wonder, what are some of your favorite games that go for it but don't quite hit or entirely miss the mark for y'all? Bonus.
What games or other media have you seen super resonate with folks that you kind of just go meh?
We already
Like
could
a
all just say
Dragon,
14.
Infinite Wealth.
We could all just say Like a Dragon on that one. But yeah.
Yeah.
For the first part,
Yeah.
what are the ones
Yeah.
that go for it and you respect they go for it,
Yeah.
but they don't entirely land?
We talked about it. Special mention, honorable mention for this year's end of the year discussion. Veilguard,
Yeah. Veilguard. Yeah.
Unicorn Overlord.
Mhm.
Unicorn Overlord. Just basically like games that really clearly have a good faith effort in trying to be inclusive or
Yep.
where it doesn't monolithicize the culture or the society that it's addressing. We've talked about this in the past where when it comes to Infinite Wealth, we'll talk about Infinite Wealth as well, where Infinite Wealth is great. Infinite Wealth has a lot of problems where a lot of people think that Infinite Wealth is
It's a good game that has class commentary and talks about various racial and social rights in Hawaii.
Mhm.
That game can lick my ass.
That game can suck my balls. The Hispanics in
I
that
don't want
game
it to
are
touch
all
my
evil.
TP.
Hispanics in that game are all characterized as evil, to the point where they kill a white cop. And even though that cop was a fucking dick to the main characters, they're like, wow, that was you shouldn't have done that.
It's such a misread of the audience too, because I doubt so few people actually liked that guy. And when he died, I'm sure most of the audience was like, oh, sick.
Yeah, right. And like it was one of those things of like, clearly the game does not agree with you, right? Like if you're like the kind of person that's like, oh, cool, that guy died. The game does not agree with you. The game literally goes, yeah, that guy was bad, but these people, oh, they're awful.
Yeah. These brown people, they're criminals. Because like people don't understand that, like, so for example, most people don't remember or even realize that when they had the Black Lives Matter protests going on in America, Japan, I think like NHK did a segment in which they drew a hyper masculine, like racist caricature of a black man for that segment.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is racism and colorism in Japan that people are not picking up on because RGG is like the fucking like darling right now based on previous games that Yokoyama had a lot of I would say he was reined in.
I would say he was either reined in or Nagoshi had other ideas. And he told Yokoyama, you're going to write a story about this.
Yes.
So plenty of games, honestly. Like there's plenty of games that go for it that aren't great. Plenty of games that people super resonate with. And like I totally get it as somebody who used to be part of the Like a Dragon bandwagon and fell off of it the more he played them.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some getting used to. I do know, and I know this is going to be a rare moment where I disagree with Kazuma, but
I'm scared.
Credit where it's due. I also have not played this. I have a lot of friends who are specifically Latine, who are also, if you don't like the word Latine, fuck off, fuck you, eat shit.
Kazuma. Kazuma.
What?
I have no. That's not the.
I know, but you went right from one to the other.
I have friends who are Latine who, a lot of people don't like the word Latine. Just as context, I have a lot of Latine friends who really like Dawn Trail. Sorry, Dawn Guard. That's a Skyrim quest. Dawn Trail.
This motherfucker, every time I watch, I know I'm going to cut you off because this is funny. Every time we try to watch something with GC, we all like get nestled into our chairs. We get our metaphorical popcorn, maybe even put a blanket on, and we start the movie. And on the bottom right of my screen, coming from hell below, the Steam notification popping up that says GC has started playing Skyrim Definitive Edition.
If it's in English, I can just listen to it and then look when the important parts happen. It's fine.
You're an addict.
I played Skyrim. I'm playing Skyrim. We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Sorry for cutting you off.
I have friends that really like Dawn Trail and they resonate with Dawn Trail a lot. I have a friend, his name is Rollo. He is on a podcast about FF14 and he's not completely like onto FF14 in the way that it's like anything they do is okay. But he very much liked Dawn Trail. For explanation, Rollo is Dominican.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I actually really like the way they sort of like designed the representation in this is pretty good or whatever. He didn't say much about like the story itself and like you are welcome, by the way, Kazuma, to still be like, okay, but the story's kind of like, like it's still sort of like whatever. And like, I would never like take that away from Rollo and I would never take that away from Kazuma. But like, there's plenty of games out there where it's like, that's just one example of like I love a lot of video games. I love it Like a Dragon. I'll tell you, I like the series. I don't hate the series. I know I criticize it a lot, but the reason I spend a lot of time criticizing Like a Dragon is because the things that people tell me about Like a Dragon, I understand. When people are like, yeah, but like Like a Dragon 7, like Ichiban's story about like being like a 40-year-old guy who has like
no prospects, no bitches, like
literally
nothing
to
do. But like he's still there going like, you know what? I am going to get like, I'm going to get a job.
So I actually want to interrupt you because I feel like we're having a really good discussion and this is going to tie into the game that I don't like the most this year, which is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
I'm so excited.
And the only thing that I like about it is that it literally brought us together for this podcast.
That's what I love about it. That might be besides Yamai, that might be the only reason I love it.
Yamai. I love Yamai, but I hate I hate the socio-political implications of his story, but I love Yamai.
That is so like there's a lot of so to that point, I love a lot of games that quote unquote go for it according to a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I think it's important, and we've talked about this in the past, and I want to make a video on this specifically about Like a Dragon, but in general, when we criticize video games on this podcast or in general, I'm comfortable enough and I know my co-hosts well enough to say that when we criticize video games, when we talk shit about video games, when we are at Shitburger and we are like, this is Shitburger, dog, like, we are not saying if you enjoy Shitburger, you're
going to hell.
Person.
I'm going to your house and I'm going to like, okay, I'm not going to spit in your mouth because some people are into that, but I'm going to knock on your door and I'm going to kill you personally.
Like
with literally no feeling in my eyes. I will simply kill you I feel like no matter how much I hate a certain game, when somebody says I like it, I have, especially my two co-hosts who actually review things professionally. I'm just an amateur, but my co-hosts have done professional reviews for things, for outlets and stuff like that. When they do that and people go, I love this game that you shat on, they get it. Yeah. Because when we play video games, like video games are made up of a lot of parts. And like, yeah, you can play a game that's like, fuck, dude, like this fucking game is like, bro, they just fucking like said a slur and they didn't even give a fuck about it. But like at the same time, like human brains
are saying that, Sora.
Human brains are complicated, and we can go, oh, but you know what? Like, yeah, that is a good gameplay system. like you can have, we have those
nuance
thoughts. Nuance exists, and we don't talk about
in your game. No, I will go to your house and kill you.
Yeah, Kazuma.
Kazuma's different.
Sometimes I gotta hold him back. But we get it. Like if you told me, and I said this on Twitter, if someone told me, yo, Dragon Quest sucks ass, there's no people of color in it. White people are doing accents for people of color in like different regions that are clearly supposed to represent like real life parts of the world. Also, like, Dragon Quest is not that fucking interesting. It's a fucking shitty, basic ass RPG. Like, fuck you if you think this game is good. I'll be like, no, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, I understand.
Don't always fuck with everybody. And one of the biggest things about being an adult is understanding why someone might disagree with you. And by the way, I'm not saying like disagree about the right to exist. I meant like about stupid media opinions. Yeah.
And like,
sometimes, need to make that clear.
And like sometimes it's like, yeah, this game's problematic as fuck. Like I play Infinite Wealth and I'm like, yeah, this game's problematic as fuck. But like I understand why people will like I'll do it because I know nobody else will, but I'll do it. When like I'll see people who are part of an outlet that I respect a lot say Infinite Wealth is talking about something in a way that like I've never seen other games talk about before. And I will go, you're right.
God, I wish you read more books. Sorry.
Yeah. But like I get it. Like I get it that like the game is actually making an effort to criticize American society. And I'm all for it. I'm American. I know what I live inside of. Like, fuck yeah. Like if Like a Dragon spent 80 hours being like, yo, America sucks dick, right? I'd be like, hell yeah, brother. Fucking tell me more of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
like
getting them thinking though.
Yeah,
it is getting people thinking. But like at the same time, it's like, yeah, it is frustrating when like stuff super resonates with folks and you kind of just go, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, and like I'll admit I was literally part of like the hype machine where I was like, this game series is really good and worth like looking at, and it has like really emotional, like moving performances from its cast, and it has real social commentary about what it means to be an orphan in Japan. Yoshitaka Mine, you're my wife. I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, 3 and 0 are really good. And if you don't like 3, go fuck yourself.
Hell yeah.
Sorry.
But at the time it was one of those situations of like
I think it's because
the focus has shifted.
Yeah, and it's moved to something more global, which I don't think they're equipped to handle.
No.
I think when they want to talk about issues within Japan, bar, like stuff regarding women, or Korean people, or Chinese people,
Secret Korean and Chinese people.
Yeah.
With the exception of 7, but not to a complete degree.
Yes. Yeah. That sometimes those games are interesting and do have things that are worth saying. And I've always said this, that if this game series makes you sort of like want to learn more about these systems in Japan and how they function, I think that's fantastic. But if you're taking it at face value and you're just like, oh, this is just how things are. Like, there was a very popular YouTuber whose name I will not mention that played Yakuza and literally thought Koreans owned pachi slot parlors and were the dominant driving force of violence in Japan.
Who?
I can't say it.
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Because his name is GC positive.
No. But yeah, like you need to interrogate this. So when you play these games, if you think something's a little fucking weird, look it up. Literally just look it up.
It is not an encyclopedia. It is a brochure. It is trying to appeal to a certain mindset.
Yes.
And it is not what everyone in Japan thinks
or feels.
If you go into it with that expectation, you are going to be validated, but it is not the truth. It is I talked about this on a stream previously where it's like it's the equivalent of GTA, where GTA makes a lot of commentary about America, and like to their credit, I will give Rockstar a lot of credit for like how they handle things, but I don't agree with everything. And even if I did, I would understand that is their perspective on America. That is a perspective. It is not an encyclopedia. It is not for you to play and go, yes, this is what America is like. Same thing with Like a Dragon. You do not play Like a Dragon to go, yes.
Glorious Nippon. Sorry. But yeah, no, the best thing that it's ever given me was you guys.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, literally, that's the most positive thing this series has ever given me, has been you guys. And you know what? That's the gift of the Like a Dragon series, and that's my holiday cheer.
Do you want to know something really like embarrassing?
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories. We did not know each other that well yet.
Yeah.
We knew each other kind of. We didn't know each other that well yet. And Cullen posted my thumbnail for Yakuza 6, for my Yakuza 6 video. And you were like, yes, GC, that is what I'm talking about. And I sat there going, hey.
Oh, so sweet. You guys are so adorable. Let me just
I was
like, since this is a wrap-up show, you're all wonderful. The three of you are great hosts. I think the three of you complement each other. I think it's perfect that Cullen is the happy boy. I think it's wonderful that Kazu's the grumpy boy, and that GC is the like
middler.
The middler.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying all three of you have like really good points of view, great opinions, and I love like that it's a diverse discussion. And I love you guys. I'm so proud of you.
Aw, we love you too. It's a shame we're getting recast next year.
I know. Yeah.
Troy Baker's gonna be taking my role.
Fuck.
Yeah, Yuri Lowenthal got me.
Yeah, I heard y'all gotta move to AI art and fire me.
Yeah.
Who's the voice actor for what's his name in Red Dead Redemption 2?
Arthur.
John Marston.
I was like Arthur Morgan.
Wait, am I getting replaced by fucking John's voice actor?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Kazuma Hashimoto.
I was gonna say Kuroda's replacing me.
Kuroda? Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I say on the podcast. Yeah, that's all I say on the fucking podcast.
Yeah. What do you think about this new Yakuza game being really racist?
Yeah.
Lots of musical numbers.
Did we even answer the question?
Yeah, we did. We did actually. Yeah.
Yeah, we answered the question.
We did.
Yeah.
And we
transitioned
into Kazuma's number one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like levitated to another plane of existence
we're
there. We're so efficient. Fuck yeah.
My next thing.
Your final thing, right?
How many minutes we got?
Yeah, we got like either 3
this is your number
or
one.
13 minutes.
GC, this is your number one.
So my number one award that goes out today is the I don't know which one. I gave it 2 awards. I don't know which one to give it. So it
Best
is
game with the homies, Marvel Rivals.
It is the you know what? Sure. It is the best game for rizzed up white boys. And that is Marvel Rivals.
Hell yeah.
It's Marvel Rivals. Impeccable game. I wrote an opinion piece that I did not pitch in time about how Marvel Rivals' approachability is transcendental to the hero shooter genre and just competitive multiplayer in general.
CGC, you wrote that piece, and without even talking about it, I literally wrote that into my review. That it like has the perfect middle ground where it like is casual and sets itself like apart from Overwatch and Valorant in that way.
It is not embarrassed to reveal information. It is not scared to be like, hey, it has built-in configurations for metas and compositions. And where other companies like Overwatch, other games like Overwatch will shy away from that to be like, we don't want to pressure players to play in a certain way. Marvel Rivals goes, no, we understand that sometimes what players need is direction in order to understand how synergy works in this game. So we are going to build a system in which team synergy is an actual mechanic in our game. And while you don't actually have to adhere to it, and by the way, if you play Marvel Rivals, you'll know team-up abilities do not occur often, but they are there to show the player that, yes, you can synergize. A lot of these heroes, unlike Overwatch, and I will make this argument, unlike Overwatch, where heroes seem to be built in a vacuum, and they're more worried about how does this hero fit into the role that we're designing them for. Marvel Rivals designs heroes in regards to how those heroes affect the abilities and play styles of other heroes.
I also think it does a great job with the synergies that encourages team play. Like, unless if you're playing like Venom or Wolverine, and I'm looking at Jake when I say Wolverine, usually you're not encouraged to dive without your team. And like, even if you do, those characters that are made to dive have some sort of self-sustain to get them back out of the fight and with their team.
The sustain is not meant to be like you are here
find a way
indefinitely.
Anyway,
you are not playing a Vanguard to be in the fight indefinitely. When you play Venom, and I've played Venom does not excel because Venom can just sit in a team fight by himself and survive. He will get focused down and die by himself. He is designed to disrupt and leave and come back. And Vanguards, like roles in Marvel Rivals, are not designed around tank support DPS. They are designed around Vanguard, Duelist, Strategist. And those roles are actually really good descriptions of what those heroes do. Vanguards are the first in, and some of them leave before everybody else, some of them don't. Vanguard in itself is an ambiguous role. Does that mean you charge ahead of everyone else, or does that mean you lead the charge with everyone else? Doctor Strange and Magneto are Vanguards that lead the charge with everyone else. They are on the front line, but they need their teammates. Venom and Captain America are Vanguards who breach enemy lines and target their backline and then leave before they can die in order to disrupt enemy position. Duelists are designed to fight other characters, but duelists do not necessarily survive on their own. Some duelists are designed to create positioning influence, where like Moon Knight puts down an Ankh and forces players to pay attention to his traps in order for them to deal with it, and that breaks up position. Moon Knight punishes bad positioning. Strategists like Loki can set up situations where enemy teams are either forced to deal with his clones, which is not a great idea because clones have high survivability.
Unless you're playing the Punisher.
Unless you're playing the Punisher, which is the counter pick. Or they have to position themselves in a different way, or they have to pay attention to map awareness, because a good Loki will know map awareness and will be like, I'm going to put a decoy up here, I'm going to put a decoy up here, and I'm going to activate my healing, and I'm going to save my healers and stuff like that. Or a Jeff will gobble up an entire team at a very important part of the match and then throw the team off the stage, or just hold them in his mouth until the timer runs out because they're not on the point, and that ends the match. And like, Marvel Rivals is really cool in that the roles that heroes serve are not hard defined things. And that's why when you get a friend who is like, man, I really want to play a shooter, I really want to play something that like activates the part of my brain that gets me thinking and makes me feel good and lets me be toxic. Marvel Rivals is a great example. It's a great thing for that. And I have firsthand evidence of that. I just get Cullen. We got Cullen to play Marvel Rivals, and Cullen was like, "Yeah, bro,
I love it.
I love it. Cullen played Iron Fist for 2 minutes. Cullen died playing Iron Fist and was like, "Oh, this game is incredible."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's
Now
my number
I
one
play
pick,
Luna and I stay in the back and I basically exclusively play healer.
which is weird, right? Because you're like
Yeah.
the aggro guy. Honorable mention, not gonna even talk about it. Best game to gel to, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake.
Hell yeah. Best game with slimes, the entire Dragon Quest series.
Yeah, best game.
Alternatively,
Who's
best
slime
remake
too?
involving adultery, tax evasion, and war crimes denial. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right.
Also,
Mr.
slowest airplane award, Dragon Quest 3 2D HD remake.
Yeah. Okay,
You're
Cullen,
giving
what's
out
your...
all our awards. We don't have any left.
Yeah, what's your pick, Cullen, for number one?
You're
game?
gonna rush me, aren't you? You're gonna rush me.
You're gonna
You're
pick
trying to
Emio
get
the
me out of
Smiling Man
here.
again. Just hurry up.
GC, by the way, can I make a request?
Yeah, whatever.
Somewhere randomly during that massive, beautiful explanation of Marvel Rivals, can you play in the background like
Iron Fist attack noises or something?
No. Your full cover of Baka Mitai.
Oh my.
Huh?
Yeah. I was thinking that while you were saying that because I'm drunk as shit and I want to see it realized. And then like they hear it randomly and they go, "What was that?" And then they get to this part and they go,
I'll be able to edit this in post. So why don't you start talking and I'll start singing?
No. I said during your section.
Oh, okay.
Just play it like randomly while you're talking and like going and gushing. I just want to hear Baka Mitai and like have the whole song and everything and have it be all professional and stuff and it'll sound great. Trust me, the bit will work.
Okay, we have to leave in 10 minutes.
Let's go.
All right. So
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Actually, Jake, you want to go?
Oh, number one game, Pokemon TCG Pocket. Super fun game. Love playing Pokemon cards. So happy to see all these old card designs that I used to have as a child be in this game and be there forever. Also love seeing the new art and new Pokemon designs and new Pokemon cards. They reinvented the gameplay a little bit, and at first I was a little bit bummed by it, but actually it's so good. It's all about psychologically destroying your enemy, and it's great fun.
Oh my god, sorry, it was so funny last night. I watched Jake force someone to concede with Gengar. It was so fucking funny.
Sometimes you can call, you always build around one main Pokemon, and I'm like, if I take care of a certain thing, I know this motherfucker will be so mad. I was like, watch this. He's gonna be so mad. And Kaz was like, oh? And the guy immediately conceded. But yeah, it's fun. You don't have to PvP. You can play against the computer. You can just trade and collect. It's really fun. Please download it. Have fun.
Yeah.
Now, Emio the Smiling Man, tell us your number one pick, Emio the Smiling Man.
So, this one I'm just gonna title Game of the Year, and it is a game that really meant a lot to me throughout the whole year.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it a lot. Just nonstop, pretty
Halo.
much. From summer on,
Halo Infinite.
like it just captured my heart, and it is of a genre that I think is rather underrated and doesn't really get a lot of games like this.
Like a detective game or something?
No, just like visual novels in general. Like they don't get this kind of like prestige ever given to them, and like I totally get why people want to play.
We don't have enough visual novels. You're so right.
More. Well, like we do because it's kind of like a lot of people kind of don't spend a lot of money on them. They're a budget genre. You know what I mean?
I don't fucking deal in walking simulators and fucking virtual books, bro. I play games to explode shit.
Exactly. And it's like I totally get it because it's preference, but like I do care a lot.
Cullen's about to say Halo Infinite.
I no, but I'm being genuine here.
Okay.
Like it has a tremendously really beautiful budget that you just like don't ever see. There's an amount of like attention to detail to every single scene. It gets cinematic at parts. There's actual animation put into this game.
Got my response all ready for you.
Really?
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay, I will. I'm super predictable. I'm sorry. It has like some of my my favorite characters I've ever like seen in something like this. And I love the main character. He's a little Blorbo. He's my favorite silly little guy who goes, through it all. It's great. So I will say, my game of the year is Tsukihime, a piece of blue moon sky or whatever.
You know
Fuck
what?
you.
That's actually really good, and I'm glad you said that.
Woo!
It's Tsukihime. It's the game of the year.
Isn't it just like part 1 as well?
Yeah, Shiki Toto, you're my guy. I think you're a fascinating little freak. So Shiki Toto, get up here. Fuck you, GC.
I just want to say, because we're short on time here, that was everybody's stuff. Do you want to read one last question before I say this?
Sure.
Do you have time for one last question? One last question.
Let me.
When writing out, I'll read it because I know the next question. When writing out a review, essay, script, or something similar, what's your guys' general process for stringing together everything into something fully formed? Do you outline and take a bunch of notes, hammer it out, sloppy at first, draft with wild abandon, or something else? Java. Thank you for the question.
I'm gonna say what I do really quick because it's very simple. I literally just hammer it all out in one go, listening to the most depressing music imaginable, or listening to really, really hard EDM and just submit it, and that's it. I don't even think. I don't draft. I don't do anything. I just go.
Respect.
Exactly.
That's how I write guides.
Yeah. There, like when I write something, the words come, and that's it.
I imagine you guys with these like 70s like red and green sunglasses, like kind of like hacking into the matrix. Like,
That's me. That's me when I write reviews.
Hacker man.
When I write guides, I'm like that. When I write videos, it is very stream of consciousness, and then I will print it out. I will take a red pen and I will proofread the shit out of it and be very brutal to myself, and then I will write a second draft, and then I will re-record it.
I never do a second draft, but that's been me since like high school.
That's true.
Yeah,
You can do that without printing.
With the
you know
exception
that, right?
of what happened.
You can do that without printing it. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but like
It's part of the process.
I'm a very physical person, so I actually think I need to start writing in physical format more often now to get writing done. Huh?
The rainforest will thank you.
Yes. I will dismantle all rainforests with my practices. But yeah, unless I'm writing a video that I really, really, really care about, honestly, it's just stream of consciousness, and the first draft is the final draft.
Fair enough.
What about you?
I don't spend that much time on it.
It is very hard to be someone who wants to do creative writing with ADHD.
Correct.
I am forced to take a lot of notes. They aren't even really like thorough, detailed notes. The notes themselves are very stream of consciousness, meant to just like prod on ideas for me to think or reflect back on later. I am someone who rewrites everything he does several times. Like if it's if it's for a video, I like am very thorough with like rewriting, like setting it off, getting
I've seen
feedback.
your like scripts in various forms. You are way too hard on yourself.
Yes, I am my greatest critic.
You should
without
let me
a doubt.
proofread your scripts.
No, terrified.
Let me do one.
Okay, maybe.
Let me do one. I'm very good at it. You can ask other content creators. I've done it before for free. I've done it before for money. I am very good at it. You will learn a lot, and you will never need my services after like 1 or 2 times.
I mean, I work with an editor already, so like Let
me do it. Let me do one. Let me do one.
Right,
I want to do one. I want to help you. I want to like give you like some cool notes.
But like for me, I need to like have all these like things in place because I struggle with like pulling everything together. First draft is always very like stream of consciousness, but like I do enjoy in a way the iteration of like my own ideas. And like if I had to go into some kind of like creative writing like job or even like a staff like game journalist site like position, it might be editor because I really like reading other people's works.
Same.
Hell yeah.
And I think it's very fun, and it's like because I already am very critical of myself, it allows me to be more lenient to others and kind of in a way learn by reading others' work and then like build on my own skill. Yeah, breaking down what works and what doesn't, and then like applying kind of those lessons to my own process.
You never stop learning, even when you start teaching.
Nope. Always be in the mindset to learn.
Always be grinding.
Yep. All right, everyone. That's our holiday episode. I hope you enjoyed it.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
You can find us at Burnout Culture at everywhere. Join our Discord. Be nasty little freaks. Have a happy holiday, gamers.
Play Marvel Rivals.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Have a good time.